Shut up and sit down.
Hello, 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 hello. How are we all, folks? Yes, it's that time of the week. It's Friday Frolic time with me, Colin, Festa 67's workshop, clues in the name, just there, and him.
Hello, hello.
Yes,
hey, everyone.
folks, yes, it is the model-making GNU himself. Yes.
I'm a GNU, how do you do?
So let's get the pimpage out of the way, get that all done, and then I can have a looky-loo who's in the chat then, because that's the important thing. If you could just let me know that audio and video is coming through fine, folks, just to put me mind at rest. If you'd like to help keep this channel alive, keep the content coming and all of that, you can do so by becoming a patron even, by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or click the join button below this or any of my video content, become a channel member. That all gives you access to the Zoom 24/7. Don't know what that was. Off-air hangout where
magical.
where you can come and hang around with us lot and join in the fun. Or you can click the $ below the chat there and pop in a super chat. So choice is yours. It helps keep all of this coming. It helps pay for all of this visionary audio technology wizardry that you're seeing too, and it helps keep me in the hobby, folks. So there you go. Talking of wonderful, wonderful patrons, channel members, and gentlefolk, let's head over to the chat and see who we've got in. First up, there's me and Fox saying hello, and Go For It Painting was in saying hi-de-do. How'd you do, mate? Space Rangers Recording Studio is in. Says hello, Colin. Hello, Fox. Hello, mate.
Hello, Space Rangers.
The Ewok is in. Dave's in saying hello. I'm off to bed because I'm getting over a dose of COVID. Yeah, he's looking for an attaboy or a poor you there, isn't he? And he ain't getting one because he's just moved into a freezing cold shed. So at the end of the day,
yeah, we don't do sympathies.
He's coming out of a warm house into a shed with a small bar eater. Yeah, come on, mate. You're going to be getting a lot of colds. But anyway, I hope you're getting better, mate. I thought you had already had COVID, but there you go.
Yeah, I thought I'd had COVID already.
Stefan Last says, good evening, Colin, Fox, and chatty folks. Hello, geezer. How you diddling?
Hello.
PJ's in saying, good evening, Colin, Guffold, Fox, and all in chat. How do, PJ?
Hey, PJ.
Hope you're doing all right, guys. Erwin Nightsings in says, hello, legends. I was about to hit the sack. It's 1 at night in the Netherlands. He says, I might stick round for a bit. No worries, mate. Thank you for keeping...
for a while, have we?
Yeah, thanks for keeping us both company. Space Ranger says hello again. Oh, hello, mate. How you doing? Jeff Light is in. He says, hello, Cole, Fox, and all in chat. Hello, Jeff. Love to you and Maggie. Space Rangers, hi, Jeff. Jeff Light, audio video is fine, as does PJ. Thank you very gladly. Wolf Ritchie says hi all. PJ says visionary. Ross is in. Scout Model Ninja is in. He says, how do, everyone? How you doing, Ross? I hope you're doing all right. Scroll down, Cole. Yeah, that was the last one. Before we go any further, just like to offer my condolences to Luke Wald out there, our friend at Scout Motor, for his loss. So if you're watching this back, Luke, thinking of you, mate. And keep, that's all I can say.
Come from me.
What else is going on there? Jeff saying audio video is fine as well. So
yes.
It's that point of the week where I waste a couple of minutes saying to him, yeah, him over there, and that, that lovely puffin and that poxy fox. What you been up to this week?
This week, I have been mostly eating Terra Masala. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. How you been?
I've been all right, but I get a feeling that you might have been screwing things together, mate. Is that true?
I've been vigorously screwing for the last 2 days. Yes, I have been. Do you want to see the results of my screwing?
Yeah, go on, flop it on the bench, mate. Go on.
I'll just move this out of the way. Yes, it was about time I got back to the bench because of the reasons.
I'll put you on the bigly screen. That would help, wouldn't it? he says.
I've been doing the screwing, so I've
Looking
been trying
for
to
the
get through my
correct button.
backlog. My backlog of
There's me,
artwork,
right?
So
Thinking if I put you on the big screen, you'll be able to fit that on your bench. It'll fit on the bench whether you're on big screen or not, won't
do you
it?
know what? Do you know what? I actually had exactly the same kind of thought. I went, oh, that'll make it easier to get it on camera.
I know, isn't it?
Yes, I've been catching up with my backlog of part works. So I started with the GT40, the Ford GT40.
Oh, nice
so I've got about 6 packs. I've done 4 in the last couple of days. They're all filmed and ready for editing.
Proud
And
of
as
you,
you can
soldier.
see, it's starting to get a size.
Yeah.
I've got the fully working steering, fully working. If I can get my hand in there, it's a bit stiff. So that's all done. What?
No, you said it's a bit stiff, you know. Yeah.
A little bit stiff. And yeah, so as I said, I've got the cockpit and the subframe here all in. I've got the radiator done. So yeah, I've done quite a lot in the last couple of days. I've got about 2 more packs to go.
Happy days.
And then once I've done that, I can move on to the DeLorean. So there will be videos going up in the next few days once I've edited them and stuff. So
God, you feeling
GT40
ill?
action.
Did you just say that you're putting content on your channel? You're clearly ill.
And well, the thing is, when my backlog of part works actually blocks out daylight in this room, I know I need to get round to doing it. So
Yeah. See, I don't have that problem because I just film them when they arrive. It's done, dusted.
Yeah. Also, when the Google checks get smaller, I need to do some content.
I knew there was a reason. There had to be a reason behind it. It's not because you want to give content to your viewers. No, you want to earn, don't you?
Yeah, when the numbers get smaller, it's like a clicker game. I have to make the numbers get bigger.
There you go. So, I have been up to this week doing tracks, which you can see coiled up just behind me. There's that. Doing the other side of the tracks. What else have I been doing? Part works, done all the RoboCop this week, so all them episodes are up. There's going to be one going out. Q Pimpage. There's going to be an episode of RoboCop going out at 2 a.m. this morning on my channel. So when you're done watching me and Little Lord Fauntleroy, you can have yourself a little bit of RoboCop goodness, a little 10-minute video of RoboCop before you go to bed. So I think of you all. So there you go.
You know, if you're trying to attach 2 parts and they don't quite go together, do you go, I'm having trouble?
Yeah. I did.
Did you?
Yeah. My name is Murphy with 2 F's. See what I did there? So yes, that's going up there for you for after the show. John Alec is in the chat saying hello, matey. Hello, John. How you doing, geese? He says that to PJ. He totally ignored me and you, mate, but he said hello, PJ.
Yeah, well, we're just chopped liver, mate.
You know, I'm not bitter at all, mate. But you know,
no.
At least he said PJ by name, so I'm happy now.
Yeah. We're just chopped liver. We are.
Yeah, we're not. We're just not worthy, are we, mate?
We don't actually count. We're not really relevant to all
What
this.
am I doing on this tonight? I hear you ask.
What are you doing on that tonight?
I've got to put a couple of more little blends of purple just underneath these edges, underneath the Starweaver.
Edges, Weaver.
Yeah, so I've got that to do, and then I'm going around doing all my little gems and picking them out, and a little bit in the cockpit whilst I haven't got the dude in there. So yeah, it's just a bit of detail stuff, but I'm happy with how that's coming out. What are you going to do with
that black bit underneath? Is that going to be a colour, or are you leaving that as dark colour?
It's going to have just a tinsy-wincy bit of grillage going along. These are going to be picked out in Iron Breaker, and then the rest of it is going to sit just in shadow. Because obviously on its stand, I'm going to pose it at a slightly
jaunty angle.
Yeah, jaunty, raunchy little angle of Starweaverness. Just so it looks like it's come up out the ground and that's just a shadow casting up. So what that'll have is that'll just have, once that's had the edge highlighting done, it'll have the crimson put underneath. Just to give it that little bit of...
Yeah, so it ties it in.
Yeah, plumness. So, yeah.
Nice.
So that's that.
It looks fantastic.
And I've got my little guns. I've got them to detail up and get the blends done on them. So that's what I'm up to tonight, mate. And then obviously on there, that leaves me all me Harlequin troop they've all been primed and done in Chaos Black. So we'll start painting them next week. Depending on whether or not I'm doing checkers next week, it depends.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be up to.
Mm-hmm. I will just be doing more detailed painting on the Baneblade for the absence of anything else to do. And if I get time, I'll start greying out the tracks and that. I've got to finish doing all the tyres. And some little details. I've still got the temple to do on the back, so little bits and bobs. Nice one, my son. Yeah.
Because you're reaching that point I reached with mine now, aren't you?
Yeah. I've said to people before, and we've explained it before, I never get bored of painting a Baneblade. I never, ever get bored of painting. I could spend a week painting a Baneblade. But when you're doing 2 or 4 hours a week split into different days, it's getting to the point now where I'm like, I just want to get it done and gone.
Yeah.
I'm not bored of it, but I want to just sit down and just finish it. I don't want to be doing 2 hours here and 2 hours there. It's frustrating, and the frustration gets to you. So yeah. So I have made a request for my next E-Models live show build.
Good man. Yeah,
which will be we've got the slow things on this, like when I put the wash on the tracks. I can't do anything else, so I'll start building the other thing.
Yeah, mine's ready. I was going to launch it Wednesday, but dear old Fox couldn't make it, so I didn't want to launch it without you there. So I cheekily gave them all a little bit extra tankage because I could. And I don't think people minded. So
no, I think they took it in good faith.
Absolutely. So
right, I'm going to paint the track Storm Vermin Fur because they're going to be rusty.
Yeah.
And it needs to be different from the tyres. So I'll do that before I paint the tyres. Otherwise, I've got to then repaint the tyres afterwards. That would be stupid, Fox. That would be stupid.
I'm using a bit of Cassandora yellow to go over the silver of these engines, just to give them a light gold, because I just fancied to play with that. So there'll be a couple of layers of that.
Cassandora yellow.
Going on.
Colour. Very good shade.
Just to bring them out.
Bring it out, bring it out.
It's a nice little way of cheating, isn't it? Using a bit of that.
Yeah. It's just like making a candy gold colour, isn't it, really? It's
pretty much,
cheating, but I have to say as well, I need to put something under my tank. Yes, you've been building your RoboCop. I've actually been playing RoboCop. I've been playing the new RoboCop game.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which came out last week, and it's actually... Oh, knocking the camera. It's actually really good. It's like... If you imagine like a AAA game, but it's not a AAA, it's a AA game. It's rough around the edges and a bit shonky, but it's so true to actual RoboCop that you really are just RoboCop.
Is that on Game Pass?
Yes, I think it is.
Oh, happy days.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's like a small studio, and it's even got Peter Weller doing the voice, so it's like...
Oh, it's even better.
And they've made sure to give RoboCop Peter Weller's luscious lips.
Yeah.
They've made what's her face? The characters look like the characters, like the sergeant
Lewis.
Lewis looks like the actress.
Yeah.
And the sergeant, the guy with the moustache, he looks like, I can't remember his name now. He looks like the actor. He's got the same shape eyes. The lip sync's a bit rubbish, but it's low budget, but it's just a really good game.
Yeah, but the lip sync in the actual movie was a little bit off as well, wasn't it? So.
Well, yeah. But it's they give the option of all these different guns. I'm like, no, I'm sticking with the Auto 9 pistol. I don't care if the others are more powerful. I need to have the Auto 9 pistol.
Oh, yeah, you got to have that.
It'd be wrong to use any other weapon. Right, I need a brush. What brush do I need? I need a brush.
Don't forget, folks, as well, belly, bench, and beverage. What's on the belly? Or in the belly, sorry. What's on the bench? What is your beverage of choice?
Beverage, yes.
We need to know all of the sordid goodness.
Alles die Dinge, yeah. And I've also made a terrible mistake.
What's that?
That I have been watching Claudius,
BBC
iPlayer, which is not a terrible mistake in and of itself. However, I did seemingly forget that the theme tune is the most powerful earworm ever created by man.
Oh, it got you, did it?
Yeah, and it's even so powerful that even like Spanish Flea can't get rid of it.
No.
It's that powerful.
Wow, that is an earworm of earwormness then.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this grey. It might not be the right colour.
There's only one cure for that, trifle.
trifle. Trifle's a good stomach worm, not an earworm.
Yeah. We both wanted trifle the other night because someone messaged me. It's like, yeah.
Did we ever?
I was like, damn you, I want bloody trifle now.
Yeah.
So I may have called in several names.
There were names thrown at me. Oops, I'll knock the camera again. Why not?
Yeah. It's always nice to knock the camera. It's what we do.
You know what? I'm going to stick with Mechanica Standard Grey. Storm Vermeer Fur is not the right colour. It's too taupe.
PJ says Colin is doing mini checks. Something Fox can relate to. Oh, bless. What else have we got? PJ's got a belly and bench, cheeseburger and Cajun fries from Five Guys. Bench is a 48th Airfix Sea King helicopter chopperer. Beverage is a coffee. Happy days. Excuse me, spider pigs.
Wow, look at this. Cheap brush from Amazon worth about 2p. And I've used it for literally like that much paint there. And it's already got hair sticking out all over the place. I mean, I know it's a cheap brush. I bought it for rough, nasty work. I didn't buy it for quality, but it's like so cheap.
Yeah, that ain't on, mate. You can't have that, geese.
Well, it was literally about a 60p per brush value of this brush, so it came in a pack. So I was like, you know what I mean?
Right, let's get a bit of that going on.
These brushes are great until you use them.
Need to get rid of the beard.
But I can confirm that the Robocop theme is actually ousting the Claudius theme just a little bit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got that in my head at the minute.
Little bit of Robocop theme goodness. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Get a bit of that in here. I've got to brush out on that because I want delicate, fancy wincy brush tipness.
Have you done the face part yet of your Robocop?
No, not yet. I've got an aftermarket face for mine.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because the one that comes with the part work, they literally give you the visible bit that you can see, nothing else.
Yeah, okay, so you can't take the helmet off. Yeah,
I've bought a full face aftermarket part for it that I've got to paint up and all of that lot. So
okay.
Yeah.
How is the sculpt on the in the default mouth? Because it's all about the mouth of Robocop.
The default mouth you don't get until issue number 100, mate, and I'm on issue 6. So
right.
Yeah, it's one of them. But if I'd known you was going to ask, I would have kept the sculpt out that I got in, but I've packed it away at the moment. So
no problem.
I can get up and get it if you so require.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I was just curious.
But yeah, it's got the pucker, should we say?
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like Robocop and Michael Keaton as Batman are important because they had the right shaped mouth.
Yeah.
Because Robocop had the Robocop shaped mouth, and Michael Keaton had a mouth that kind of is shaped like the bat symbol, which made it perfect for when he had the mask on. So
yeah,
that's why when you watch like the other Robocops where they didn't have Peter Weller, it just didn't work because he just had a normal mouth.
Robocop 3, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he had lip gloss on him as well. And
yeah.
There was the short-lived TV series or something, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah, they tried to embellish his lips. They did a remake of Robocop as well, didn't they? Which really didn't work.
Yeah, that was just garbage.
It was one of those. We try not to talk about that too much, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's up there with the remake of Total Recall.
I never watched that.
Let's have a look, see if I can find that Robocop bit.
No, you're right, man. I wasn't curious. You didn't go and drink it out.
It's all right. I aim to please, dear. You asked me a question, and I aim to please because, ouch, nice person. Bung that up there. That's the Audi. That'll remind me that I still need to paint that because
you need to paint that.
Oh, mate, honestly, I'm a bit bish on that.
Bish. This brush is actually too fat to get under the fuel barrels to paint the tracks. I'm going to have to get a slightly thinner brush to do that bit.
Excuse me. Right. Because I'm doing a lot of modification videos on this because it needs it. It really does. Yeah. That's the default that they give you.
Yeah.
And those that have watched the film will know that the Robocop itself just polished me helmet there.
It's this nice shiny helmet you just polished there, isn't it?
In the film, there's a lot of bluing and a lot of violet and shades of that. You get none of that in this. And there's like glaring discrepancies. Like in the film, the whole back of his head is metal plate and different coloured blues. And you've got none of that on there. So this is going to get fully detailed up. I'm sanding off all of the pipes that are moulded on. And I'm going to make proper metallic rods and all of that lot to go in there. Cool. So you know what it's like. We're scale modelers and we like to embellish, don't we? So
yeah.
But
I think it was like the Robocop.
Yeah, go on.
I think it was Robocop 2 where they changed the way it was filmed and you could see all the blues and purples and it looked like cheap cosplay.
Yeah.
Whereas in Robocop 1, you could see all the blues and purples, but it looked like metal.
Yeah. But
it might have been Robocop 3. I'm not sure.
Shut up. With the part work, they only give you the lower half of the face. So, of course, if you take the helmet off, he's only got that much of a face, which to me is a bit fish.
Yeah.
So I thought...
Cheap and cheerful, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought I'll get the full face for it. So I've got to delicately take this out of the bag because I'm a bit heavy-handed and I don't want to break it. But I got that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
So,
that'll look nice.
Then when you flop his helmet off, once that's all painted in the flesh tones, and then where you've got holes there, I'm going to make my own pipes going from the face into it, and then obviously you can weather it all and paint it all up. So it's going to look, I think, a lot better. So you'll have a bit of that going on.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Have you some of that? Oi, he's a wizard, Harry. No, that's the wrong film, isn't it?
That wizard came from the moon.
So there'll be a modification video coming out for this soon where I'm doing all of that because it's like anything. I'm doing the same with the Eleanor. I'm doing some hyper detail on the brakes, the engine. I'm running brake lines under it, just to bring it up to a scale modeler's standard.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't bother with it, but rather than have that as part of the part work series, because you know what the part works are like, you film it, you do the content for them. But the modification videos, I'm just running alongside the part workers. This is what you could do if you want to. So.
Yeah, you want it to look as good as some of like the hot toy replicas and things like that.
Pretty much, but yeah,
which are usually smaller.
It's had a bit more built on it. I'm not going to do any spoilers because. What else have I got to film this week? I've got God-hand videos to film this week, so I'm going to catch up with them. Do a bit of work on the Audi, get that primed and painted, because I really need to pull my thumb out my bum. I then need to go back over the howitzer and re-bring out the colours because it's had its first lot of shade put on, so I need to go back round and dry brush all the colours back.
That howitzer looking mint.
It's got its metal tracks. I've got Ringo the Beetle over there in pink primer, ready for blue. And then I need to edit down all of the video for the Suzuki themed Volkswagen bus because I'd kind of forgot that I had the whole video series sat there on the computer ready to edit.
It's easy when you've got so many things on the go. It's easy to forget you've just filmed an entire thing and it's not been edited and done yet. I've done that. Yeah, I found a complete motorbike build series as well that I'd forgot about. So yeah. When I was doing the Dodge Charger at one point, I did this episode and I edited it and I was just about to put it up to YouTube and I went, hang on a minute, what's that other folder? And then I looked on YouTube and the previous episode was like not in sequence. So I'm like, hang on, there's a whole episode. And I realised I'd filmed it and put it in for editing and just never got around to it and then forgotten I'd done it. So I had to just stop and go and edit the next one. It was like, how did I forget I just did that?
That's what we're like. We do forget stuff.
We're men of a certain age. And the certain age is between birth and death.
Yeah, so hopefully people will be happy with what I've been up to. So
I've changed for a slightly bigger, cheap Amazon brush.
But that's the problem. I forgot that I'd actually done all the filming of it. It's like,
Yeah, we've all done it.
Well, I tend to, like I'm doing tonight, I'm filming as we're streaming, and I just drag all the files in on a spare hard drive, ready for the next one, and then I forget that I've actually done all of the filming, and I'm like, oh, what's that in this folder? And there's, shed loads of videos. It's like, oh, edit them all down.
Absolute shed loads.
Hopefully we can pull me thumb out and get some new video content up for you all. Because
when you say we, I'm not really wanting to be involved in you pulling your thumb out. I'll let you do that by yourself.
So, yeah. Obviously, the tank has been filmed as well for e-models, as well as been live streamed. So there will be a video build series for them going on. And also part 2 of the Yamaha Dakar bike. I've just got to finish off the last little bit of editing on that, and episode 2 can go up. So, been a busy little bit this week.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm glad that I've finally got a chance now to do some part work stuff, because once I've got all the part work stuff out of the way, what I need to do is, like you do, just when the box turns up each month, just film it, because it's literally a couple of hours for each box, assuming it's not the DeLorean, which is a couple of weeks per box. But, and then, because once I've done that, I need to just get on with painting and stuff. I need to do lots of more painting videos and things.
Yeah, like I say, I just binge build them. They're done then, they're uploaded on a schedule. I don't have to worry about them then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, live streaming's becoming a bit tricky at the minute, so I need to make sure I'm doing at least something if I get back into the filming. If I'm having to stop live streaming for a bit, then at least I've got filming I can do. So, but I need to get back to it anyway, because, you know, it's been a while.
Well, you're only going to have me kicking your bum, aren't you? And,
yes.
And I do.
It is the right. It is the way forward. It is the way forward. Check your chat, buddy.
2 secs, mate. I am literally just detail brushing. Glyn has put in a $9.99 super chat. Thank you very, very, very much. She says, let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Bless you. Well done, mate.
Oh,
thank you very much for your kindness and generosity there, Glyn. Much, much, much appreciated, mate.
Yes.
You will be imminently getting a bit of on-screen air guitar, because that's what happens when you do a super chat. You get a bit of on-screen guitar goodness.
Air guitar.
He says. So, yeah. So there's a slight delay, because there is about a minute and a half between what we're actually doing this end and what you're actually streaming or seeing. So it's just a YouTube thing where nowadays there's a delay, so...
Yeah, it's not actually fully live.
Yeah,
they've got to do the processing and stuff, and, you know, encode the video. So that takes a few moments. Ooh,
which, when you think about it, it's still rapid, isn't it? Considering.
Oh God, yeah. When you think, like, you know, how long it takes to actually encode a video when you're just doing like a video, and then you think, yeah, but they're having to do it on the fly.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
So they've got to encode it instantly, so that if somebody scrolls back 2 minutes, it's there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. I mean, I know it's not exactly the highest quality, but it's still pretty impressive how they do it. Ooh, sniffle. And people whinge about YouTube, but it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, for something that's free, you'd be a bit knackered if you tried to find somewhere else to do the same thing, because everybody else is.
Well, yeah, they're hosting all our content for nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you think, like, you know, we've got websites, you know, you pay for your hosting.
Yeah.
On them. So, yeah, you know, we don't do bad out of it. People go, oh, but they take 30% of your super chats. But at the end of the day.
Yeah, have you ever tried earning a living on Twitch? Forget it.
Yeah.
Or anywhere else? No. But it's, no, for what they do, what you get, it's a pretty good deal, if you ask me.
There you go. Yeah, he says, have a beer, a coffee, or an orange on me. Thank you very much, Glyn. Oh, bless you. Most gracious of you.
Yes. He's a nice fella.
He is.
It's not true what they say about him. He's a nice lad.
He's fresh to the group, and yeah, he's most welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of detail in there. I haven't heard the on-screen air guitar come on tonight. I wonder whether there's a bit of a bug going on.
Could be.
Yeah. All the widgets are activated, so...
Festa likes a nice active widget, don't you?
I do.
He's never happy if his widgets aren't active. I'll just stop now.
Right. So that's a bit of that. What else have we got?
That was a thoughtful.
Yeah, it is. I just want to...
Are you doing the thinkings?
Yeah, I just want to go around and touch up a few little bits. Sounded so wrong.
Are you trying to be canning?
Yeah, you've got that going on down there. So let's put a bit of purple on them panels, I reckon. The buttonage and all of that lot. So I might as well do all of that whilst the pilot ain't in. He's around somewhere. That's him there. Yeah, so we can paint his cockpit.
I'm glad you'd finished that sentence.
Give that a little rinsey kins. There you go. Have you some of that, my son?
Have you some of that? Let's have a look at chat. The air guitar did happen, says PJ.
Oh, did it, mate? I say that's what I mean. I didn't hear it, mate. So apologies, but yeah, I didn't hear it, mate. Thanks for letting me know, PJ. Because yeah, I was sitting there going through my settings, going, "Why didn't that work? Why didn't that work?
What is wrong with this?
Yeah,
das ist nicht richtig.
Why is there a big conspiracy against me of things not working? Damn it! Yeah." Thought we'll have a bit of that on there.
I'll blame it on YouTube.
Sorry.
Despite everything we just said, just blame it on YouTube.
Yeah, they have their moments, bless them.
Yeah.
Right, we've got gold. Got to have a bit of gold. Glenn says, I just wanted to pop in quick to say hi to everyone. We'll catch up and watch the whole stream in the morning. Work starts at 6. Not a problem, Glenn, mate. Right. Thanks for coming in and keeping us company, mate. And as I was saying the other day, anyone out there that's driving and out and about at the moment, please take care, because that storm is nasty. We had a state of high alert in Hampshire over the last couple of nights because it's been lively down here. So from the bottom of our hearts, just stay safe out there, folks.
Absolutely. Bizarrely, we've had absolutely nothing.
Oh, it's been murdered down here, mate.
Yeah, we're completely unaffected. A little bit of rain, but just nothing unusual.
Yeah, it has been a bit. It's been a bit lively, geez.
A bit leery.
Yeah, I mean, H, bless her, she had to pull over on the motorway because even on 2-speed she couldn't see because of the amount of rain coming down, and there was a big queue of cars on the hard shoulder just waiting for it to calm down a bit. And the Rozzers obviously were there pretty quickly, making sure everyone was all right. But they're like, yeah, you've done the right thing at the end of the day. You can't see where you're going, you pull over. So a
lot of people wouldn't. They just keep on going because they're stupid. But that's
but
the right thing to do.
amount of people she said that were still doing 90 easy, gunning down the motorway in that weather. She said, we just sat there, the couple went, look at this idiot, back in a while. Yeah.
And the thing is, by people, she means BMW drivers.
Yeah, there is an acronym for BMW drivers, what that stands for. I'll let you all think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge one because we have the main interchange just outside of Basingstoke for the M3, M4 and all of that lot. So it's that corridor. And when the storms kick up, obviously, that's like a funnel effect. So, of course, anyone driving on the motorway will get buffeted around. As like H said, there was at least a mile's worth of traffic, HGVs, all of that lot, had all pulled over.
Yeah. I mean, trucks know to do that because they're just big.
Yeah, it's common
Wind
sense,
catchers,
isn't
aren't
it, mate?
When you're driving a big box truck, it's like, yeah, I'm pulling over, I'm getting out.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
amount of them that
bury
you see
myself.
go over on the Severn Bridge and things like that. And it's like,
Yeah. You're obviously a new driver, aren't you? I can tell because you did.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. And other spellings of that phrase.
Yeah. So it's surprising, though, isn't it? The sheer stupidity of people, even in the storms. I was watching the local news because obviously down the Isle of Wight Way and Selsey and that and Portland, there's risks of, you know, like mini tsunamis. There was a tornado in Littlehampton. And you've got people on the news stood right on the sea wall.
Yeah.
You know, doing selfies of the big old waves hitting behind them. And it's like, what pillock?
Well, you see, this is the only good thing about influencers is that they do tend to win a lot of Darwin Awards just doing what they do.
Yeah. You know, and you've got the lifeboat people going, look at that pilchard over there. You know, but we're having to go out and risk our lives because of idiots like them.
Yeah.
You
Hard
know,
of thinking.
Yeah, so...
Influencers, as we like to call them.
Yeah, I know down Portsmouth, Portsea and places like that, they was nicking people that was on the seawall.
Good. Because
You know, and I thought, good for you.
they're not only putting their own life at risk, they're putting the life of the people who have to go out and rescue them at
Yeah,
risk as well.
endangering public safety or whatever they called it. And they're like, yeah, we're just going to nick a lot of them. Good for
Being
you.
a moron. Being a moron is a better way to call it.
So, like I say, you know, just be careful out there, folks. It's the same in Scotland, issues up there. So, yeah, just be careful, peeps. Talking of Scotland, using, he says, evening, folks. Hello, you. How you doing, geese?
Hello, you. I was just about to say, you's come in.
Yeah, hope you're safe and well up in Scotland, mate, because I know you've had a lot of storms up there recently, and it has been bad up there for folk. So hopefully you're safe and well, mate, because, yeah, just like to make sure all our mates are keeping well.
Yeah.
What we do.
Fox, tell the nice
people.
people, even us BMW drivers, what paint you're using and talk us through what your layering process involves. Yes, serious question, don't faint. Really? I am, at the moment, just applying some Mechanicus Standard Grey to the tracks, because what I will be doing is the old technique where you paint it grey and then add rust-coloured washes to it to make it look like rusty metal that Martin Kovac does over on Night Shift so well, and I can't seem to do very well at all. So I'm
My
still
mate
trying
Martin. My
Your mate Martin.
friends.
I'm trying to basically completely rip off. Utilise that method, and I've not quite figured it out yet. But I'm trying. I'm getting better at it. But it looks so good. And I've never quite figured out the best colour, so I'm trying Mechanicus Standard Grey. And this is just basically slapping it on right now because I just need the grey undercoat. So I'm using a cheap, crappy Amazon brush to get that on. I won't be doing the track wash tonight though, because this is just base painting at the minute.
Absolutely.
I need to get it done.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he's always on our watch list, isn't he, Martin?
Yes.
And he's a damn nice chap as well.
Damn nice chap. Now, I would get the hairdryer out and speed up the drying, but it's too late at night to have the hairdryer on, so...
There you go. And I'm using a bit of Retributor armour at the moment as a base on all of my embellishments.
Because gold is the way forward.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, and then over the top of that will be a bit of the old Guiana's gold, or Guiana's gold.
I know.
So, yeah, just to give it a little bit of a shiny kins. And then once that's all dried, I'll then put a little wash over it.
When I've done the tracks, I'm going to be doing the exhausts in this grey as well, but I might try a two-tone grey on those. So they look like
nice.
a different kind of rust. I've got to paint all the tyres as well, so
Yeah.
I'll do the same grey for that.
Yeah, it's a tiresome job, that, isn't it? Someone's got to do
Well,
it.
you know. I can't think of a joke now.
Yeah, it was a bit lame, that, wasn't it?
The one time you want Citadel paints to dry real quick, and they don't.
Right. Bit of gold there. Got masks to pick out as well. What have we got going on?
Hugh Gordon's just finished the latest arc, Noha 3.
Oh, nice one, mate.
I don't know what that is. Is it a model, or is it the video game arc, Survival Evolved, whatever it was? Or...
Yeah. So,
I don't know what that is.
Nice one, geez. I take it everything's safe and secure up where you are, you? Trying to think of exactly where he is, but...
I just got it because of the weather. Yes, I get it now, Ark.
Yeah.
Our resident Carl Sagan is in the house. He says,
Good
hi,
man.
Festa Foxx, Hugh, PJ, SRRS, Glyn, and all in chat. And I say, something dreadful happens to students between the 1st and 12th grades, and it's not just puberty. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
I think he's saying they lose all their interest in science and, like, curiosity about the world. And he's right.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. Hello, Jeff. Hope you're keeping safe and well, mate. We need to make sure Jeff's well.
Yes. Yes. It is a requirement. God, it's taking forever to dry, and it normally doesn't. Gosh darn it. Come on now.
Gosh darn it, was that?
Gosh darn it. It's not my stream, so. Hugh Gordon says, it's about stupid. Well, I guessed the art was.
Yeah. He doesn't get out much, you.
Try a second coat. That came out thinner than I'd expected.
Was that 2 thin coats? See what I did?
There was 1 thin coat. I'm also hoping I've got a bit more mechanical standard grey if this one runs out.
Just put in a base of Mournfang. Is that Mournfang bone? Ushabti bone, is it?
Yeah, Mournfang brown or Ushabti bone.
Ushabti bone.
Ushabti bone.
Yeah, all of that. So that's what's going on there, in case you're wondering.
Do you want to know what a Ushabti actually is? Because I know.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll tell me.
You don't have to know. I can tell you if you want.
I'm sure the viewers will be interested.
Ushabti or an Ushabti was a small statue that was included in the grave goods of ancient Egyptians.
Oh, right.
To represent, say if it was a pharaoh's burial, it would represent their family or loved ones or staff as an alternative to actually killing the person and burying them with the pharaoh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Kind of went out of favour after a while. So they're like people that would accompany the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. They were Ushabtis. In the Warhammer lore, I think it's something else completely, obviously, but I can't remember. It's old Warhammer fantasy that I think.
Oh, yeah. Because they used to have a habit of killing the people that had actually built the pyramid as well. It'd be like, oh, cheers, mate. I busted my nuts building this and you're going to kill me. Cheers for that.
Yeah, thanks for that. Well, apparently, it's rumoured, because nobody's ever been to the tomb of Emperor Shi, the first emperor of China.
Yeah.
But it's rumoured that when they finished the tomb, they actually sealed the tomb with all the people that designed and built the tomb in it.
Yeah.
So that nobody would be able to know how to get back into it and rob all the grave goods.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's really something you wanted to see in the contract before you...
Oh, yeah. How many people didn't read the small print?
Yeah. By the way, you ain't getting out. Wait a minute. But we don't know for sure because nobody's ever been in the tomb. So.
No, that's right. Because, yeah. Everyone's saying hello to Jeff because they can.
It's one of those archaeological wonders and mysteries that everybody knows where it is and everybody knows roughly possibly what's in it, but nobody wants to go in it because, A, it apparently had a lake made of mercury in it, which is probably going to kill everybody in the environment if you release it.
Yeah.
And B, they don't want to. It's a national monument. They don't want to damage it by trying to expose it. So, and it's like, oh, just go in and I want to know what's in there. Come on, but they never will. It'd be like finding a sealed vault in your back garden and knowing you can't open it. You'd be like, oh, no, come on, just don't care about preservation. Just I need to know what's in it. Come on.
Absolutely. Glenn was saying before he went, don't forget, folks, about the thumbs ups. Yes, it really does help us out, folks. It recommends the video to people. Indeed. It helps it on the SEO ratings. So, yeah. Just every helps me grow my channel.
It helps Festa and the kitten gets its wings.
So, just helps us out.
Jeff says, very cool. I never knew Inushabti was a real-life thing. I thought it was a made-up word from... Well, it kind of is, because it was something to do with one of the factions in Warhammer Fantasy, but it was a real thing in ancient Egypt.
You go, see? Learning interesting things with the guru.
Yes. It never took hold in ancient Babylon, but it was prevalent in ancient Egypt.
Was it by the river in Babylon?
By the rivers of Babylon.
See what I did?
I see what you did there. The Bobbins is in and says, good morning, folks.
Hello, Bobbins. How are you, mate? Lovely to see you in.
I shall step away for just a few moments. I shall be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, nice to see you in, Bobbins. Hope you're keeping safe and well, mate, and all of that lot. And everything in the world of Bobbins is wonderful, mate. I'm just using a little bit of Xeros purple for the eagle-eyed out there. They'll be wondering what I'm doing. I'm just painting the little gems that are on the vehicle where this has had several washes, and then I shall then bring them back with a little light purple highlight of Gen Stealer. Just a little comma on the top there with a little swipe, and it just gives the impression that it's reflecting a bit of light. So that's what I'm up to on this. There's quite a lot of purple shades, as you've noticed, and blends, and I just want to start bringing out all the detailed parts again that may have been obscured with all the washes. And it's just making them pop again. It's a shame almost doing it because I've got me checkers to go all over the front yet, but it's easier to do it now than when them checkers are all done. So just a matter of making the little shape on there and bringing it all out. I don't know how well it's coming out on the camera, but I'm looking at a nice little colour montage at the moment. Look at him with his colour montage, big words and that. So, yeah, it's beginning to come alive to me now. So my enthusiasm starts to creep up when I see a build beginning to come together. Because it's like anything, when you first start doing this sort of paint job, you don't know whether you've overdone it at all. So you're just trying to blend it all in almost a subtle way. And then you work out where the light's coming from, and then you start picking out all the little details. So that's what we're up to. And I'm just working my way around, refinding all of those little bits that need a touch up. And then I've got a edge highlight as well. Similar to what I've done with the blend there, is start with the darkest and work my way around all the vents and everything, just picking out different little variations where the light is hitting an edge and you're seeing all the transitional purples. So that's what I'm up to with it.
That looks fantastic, dude.
It's getting there, isn't it, mate?
It looks lovely.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just making a brew. I did come back with something wonderful, though.
Oh, yeah.
A chocolate hobnob.
Oh, nice one. Get in there.
Unfortunately, I don't have a hot beverage to go with it. Curses.
You didn't think of making yourself a brew whilst you was down there, then, no?
No, I had that moment of stupid where I was too busy making area brew and totally forgot I wanted one. Never mind. Man, it's too late. If I have a brew now, I'll never get to sleep, so...
Oh, right, okay.
Curse my metabolic rate, or whatever it is. I don't know.
So that's the first bit of gemness going down.
Ooh. Look at the gemularity.
Absolutely.
How are you painting your gems, dude? How are you approaching it?
Well, I just told the viewers a bit of Xeros purple, and then I'm putting a Gen Steel, a purple comma on them just to do the light where it's hit the top and
Lovely. Even
round. You know.
lovely.
So, there you go.
You're doing a classic Games Workshop way of doing it.
I ain't, am I? Oh, God.
You are.
Going to give you the opportunity to say I'm down the hole now, isn't it?
Well, I don't need that opportunity, buddy. No, none of us need the opportunity to be able to say that. We can say that any time because it's true. I know your Amazon search history includes searching for pork pie hats with headlights built in, so I know you're down the hole.
Yeah, but it's a good thing to have, isn't it? You know, it's handy little tool to have in your armoury, isn't it? LED pork pie hat is what everyone wants in their life.
Pork pie, minus pork pie hat, and we don't mean for children.
Yeah.
And the theme tune from my Claudius is back, and it's with the
is it?
vengeance.
It's proper in your canister again, is it?
I was trying to get to sleep the other night, and every time I closed my eyes, it was like, oh, get out of my head. I couldn't get rid of it.
What you like?
I don't know. It is a fantastic TV series. If any of you have never watched like Claudius, you need to go and watch it at some point. It's on BBC iPlayer. Just do it. Peter Davies says it certainly does look wonderful. So I assume he's talking about your Starweaver.
It's getting there. Like I say, it's a shame almost to put the diamonds over the front, but
yeah, you don't have to.
No, I want to because that's the paint job. In case, let's find the box. In case
I've seen people do like lightning effects and other things on there. Do have you all?
In case people want to know what I'm up to, that's what I'm going to end up with when it's done. Look at that, eh? Oh, diamond goodness. Oh.
That's going to require much thinking.
I know, but I'm not stupid, so yeah, I will.
No.
I will get it painted because that's what I want to do.
Hugh Gordon says every day is a Boney M day.
Absolutely, mate. See what you did there.
And if you've not read this, if you read this already, apologies. Bobbin says, sorry I'm late. Belly was pork satay, stir fry, bench, M4 artillery tractor, beverage, coffee.
Oh, nice one, mate. Get in there. No, I hadn't read it.
Good, because I just read it.
Yeah.
Hey, bitty.
So, yeah, that's what we're going to end up with. So, I shall be starting the diamonds at some point in the next few weeks. We'll see.
Diamond. See what I did there?
But I just want to get all of the line work done underneath so that all I've got to do then is very, very light touch up when it's had the diamonds put on. So
you like a nice light touch up, don't you?
Yeah, time spent at this stage saves me a lot of hardship later on.
Yeah.
See, and all I'm doing there is just a very, very, very subtle line around there on half of it. Just where the light is at the bottom half of it. So, yeah.
Very nice. There's a lot of kind of like lateral thinking and common sense when it comes to complex paint schemes. You really have to kind of get your mind around it, don't you? Trying to figure out the order and how to get X, Y, and Z, and it's quite fun. Because it's not, you've got to kind of plan.
Well, that's it. I looked at the box and I thought, right, what colours am I seeing? And I just sit there with a notepad and a pen, scribing down different colours that I think I'm seeing. Then that's how I've worked out to achieve this effect, you know, and it's like, yeah.
And plan your paint order. And
yeah, I find it an enjoyable part of the process, if I'm honest.
Because you think to yourself, well, if I do that bit first, but then how can I get that if I do that? I'll have to do the other bit first then, and then do that. Yeah. Right, okay, that'll make sense. Kind of have to think. You have to think it in reverse, don't you?
Yeah, I have. I don't know whether this is something that people will find useful, but I forget a lot. So I have on my screen in front of me there. See all of that file.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I've made notes about the paint job and how I want to do it. So I do this on every build I do. So there's all the colours, and then how I'm edge lighting it, how I'm doing everything, how I'm doing all of my shading and mixes that I've seen in the colour scheme that I'm looking at. And that's what I do. I just have that on the side of the screen, and then I could look up to it and remember where I am with it. So it works for me.
Yeah, I did that when we were planning the Lehman Rust paint job together. I did that just to get a rough idea of what we'd need, and then completely deviated from it. But
yeah. And that's how I do it, you know. And it's funny, me and PJ had this chat because I make lots of notes on the kit instructions and things like that. But I also create a brand new notepad file and then sit there and write everything down and just pop it up on the screen when I'm doing the paint job.
It's also a very good thing to do if you're filming it, because then it means you can, and it's something I'm very bad at not doing and I need to do it more. You can then put into the descriptions of your videos what paints were used and so on.
Absolutely.
And so on.
I have an auto cue that I use so that when I do my narrating voiceovers and that, I've at least got a type of script. And I have it all on an auto cue that just sits there and plays, and it keeps me momentum going. And yeah. Because I do have a terrible habit of repeating what I've just said.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, I have a terrible habit of repeating what I just said. See what I did?
Yeah.
But yeah. And it keeps me on track almost, because you lose your train of thought.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do the same. And it's it got a lot easier when I started writing scripts for things. When I used to just film things live, and then later on I'd have to remember what the hell I did if I had to do any overdubbing or anything. But now it's like, well, if I just film it and I can write a script and then I can stick to that then.
Absolutely.
Also another handy tip is to, if you're filming painting, just before you start the painting, just hold the paint up in front of the camera for a few seconds to remind yourself what it was when you're editing. It's like, oh yeah, that's what it was.
Well, that's where that comes in handy, because I've got all my paints listed. So as I've used the paint tonight, I just add it to the list, because there's always going to be someone that sees it and wants to have a go themselves, and they'll message you going, what paints did you use? So I just email them that and say, look, there's my process I used to achieve it. Adjust it and do whatever you need to suit yourself. And that's it.
I actually started writing down colour schemes in my notebook at one point for different things, like how to paint orc flesh and how to paint this and that. Because I can never bloody remember what I've... we both had to go back to our old videos at one point and I'd say, right, how did I paint that? I've got no idea.
You know, I've got all my notes there, see. I just sit there and scribe it down as I'm doing the builds. All in, what's his name? Shorthand.
What proper shorthand?
H devised a method for me, so she's a touch typist.
Oh yeah, I think we've actually got a book on how to write Pitman shorthand somewhere from the 70s in here this house, as well as a copy of Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing.
Still got that on the system.
Yeah,
bit of Mavis.
Mavis Beacon, good friends with Eileen Bilton.
Yeah.
She might not be, but it's just one of them names.
Yeah, a bit of Mavis and her Beacon. See what I did there? Oh, yeah.
Beacon.
Wait, Beacon. No. But yeah, it's all part of the fun. And we all have different processes of things, and I make little, especially if I'm doing modifications on a kit. Like I'm going to be doing on that London bus. I go through the instructions where, say, for instance, the front bulkhead, I'm going to be dropping an LED in. One, I draw the LED on the screen, but then I also do the dotted lines where I've got to section out bits of plastic to make a wire run. Jeff has put in a $5 super chat. He says, can't wait, he says, to see the Festa technique for painting the diamond pattern. Yeah, it's going to be one of those where people will first see it and go, what's he doing? A bit like anyone in the UK that used to watch a programme called Paint Along with Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy Kaminski. I've got that theme tune in my head now, thanks.
Yeah, you'll look at it and think, what is it he's actually doing there? And when you first see it come away, you'll be like, oh, don't get that. But you'll see, it will come together, so bear with me.
Yeah.
There is method to my madness.
The proof of the pudding is in the tasting.
Yeah, so, yeah, stick with me. Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to it. Again, there's about 6 colours, maybe more, going into them checkers, just with different blends, bringing the colours together. So,
have you formulated the process yourself and just sort of made it up in your brain and said, let's give this a try? This seems like it might work.
Yeah. Cool. I come up with a process and then I just go for it.
Yeah, you just go, bam, there you go. What's the worst that can happen? Blah.
At the end of the day, if it goes wrong, it goes in ditto and I start again. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world. But, yeah, don't get me wrong. You don't really want to have to do the whole paint job again. But if I've got to, I've got to.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to suddenly lose your house and have to pay a mortgage off, is it? No, it's like, okay, I have to paint it again. It's not the end of the world.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I say,
Good.
It's one of them.
I've seen it.
I've got it in my head. We've had this conversation before, like when I did the Bluey car, you was like, what you going to do? I said, I've got this idea in my head, and I can actually see the finished model in front of me. And then I now have to then go back from the finished model to the beginning in my head on how I've got it there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, you think of the end result first and then work your way backwards forensically.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
How am I going to achieve that? Well, I'm going to have to use this, and this method. Okay, so then you've got to work out your colour layer order. You know, it's a bit like doing a Photoshop image, isn't it? You have multiple layers, multiple effects and all of that lot to achieve the thumbnail that you've had the vision of in your head. Yeah. And it's a similar process with paint.
I remember many years ago, I was applying for an internal job at the company I was working at. I was applying to be a trainer because I was very lazy and you basically did nothing and just trained new staff that came in, and it was absolute skive. And I was like, I want that because my job currently sucks. I hate everybody in my office and I want to work in the bit of the office where they just lark about all day and train new people. Yeah. It's purely mercenary, of course. And so they said, right, I have to do a presentation, because we need to obviously know that you can do a presentation. So I decided to do a presentation on how I draw my comic strips, because this is when I was drawing the Avoid Spikes webcomic.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so I did this little presentation, and it never occurred to me until I had to put this thing together. Because to me, and I'm sure you'll, as a fellow Photoshoppery type person, you'll understand this. You turn it on, you go blah, 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 and you've got a comic strip.
Yeah.
But
it's that old thing, isn't it, where if an alien landed and you said, do you want a cup of tea? And they say, what's a cup of tea? You've got to go and write down how to make a cup of tea.
Yeah, how to make a cup of tea.
Turn on the tap. What's a tap? You know, It did. At the end of it, I just had this enormous list of everything and I suddenly realised, my comic strip could have 50, 60, 70 different layers and all that. And I'm like, I'd never really thought about it, but it's like so complex to get a simple result, and like no wonder people think it's not. So it's fascinating to see how. So going in reverse and having to see the end result and then kind of work it back in layers, onion skin layers like Photoshop or whatever. It's like, yeah, I can get that. Oh, yeah, it's an interesting way of doing it. It works for me. Like I say, it's different ways for different things, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Different strokes for different folks. We don't all dance to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for some, no, that's wrong. Yeah. Never mind, I've killed it now. Joke's dead. Moving on. I'm having trouble getting inside the tracks now to get the grey on, but I may just have to not worry about that too much, I think. And I'm still old school where I paint a straight line on an out breath. You know what I mean? And it's funny. It's just the way I paint, and this goes back to the days when I used to do pinstriping. And you used to load your brush up and you'd take a good few breaths and then exhale and then you would do your line. And, like and I still do that. I think you find a lot of people do that. Yeah, but So if I do go quiet, folks, it's because I'm doing that. So, yeah.
Makes perfect sense, buddy.
Also, I'm desperately trying to avoid any twitches because...
Yeah. Which is probably good that you don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
Because that's why I've like, I used to drink a lot of coffee. And I kind of stopped after a while because I realised more than anything else, I'm drinking coffee on a live stream and my hands are all shaky. And I'm like, I need to not be doing this because I'm having trouble painting. And now I just have two cups of coffee when I get up in the morning. And then I'll have one later after dinner and that's it. And then I'm actually finding painting easier because I'm not like all the time. It's amazing. But I've got my Dow Egberts right. And I secured a 6-pack of this like weird caramel flavoured coffee.
Oh, right.
Just little pots. And it was quite a strong flavour, but I thought, just imagine if I mixed this in with the Dow Egberts. So I just poured them all 6 pots into this big thing of Dow Egberts. Oh, it's the nicest coffee ever now. Speedy Q8 will just be shouting heresy at me, but it's just really nice.
Yeah, because you try and sell it to him that you've been blending and he would just go, no, you haven't.
Well, I have. I've been blending. It's just I've been blending instant coffee. The world don't dance.
He still hasn't forgiven me for threatening to send him a load of coffee bags.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if I've got a choice between spending 10 or 15 minutes poncing about or just drinking my coffee within 2 minutes, I know where I'm going to go at first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
There's no poncing first thing in the morning in my world. It's just literally up, coffee, done. Right, I need a smaller brush now to do the tires.
How we doing in the chat? Let's have a look, Elo. Just as well I looked up then. Oh, God, dodged a bullet there, Carl. Oh.
Yeah, you did. You've had a bit of a redeeming grace, saving grace there.
He says distracting people in the hope that they don't hear the clicking of my keyboard. Because I'm not typing anything, of course, because I wouldn't be doing that.
Nobody can hear any typing because there isn't any typing. You're just
Absolutely.
typing during a live stream. Nobody. I mean, if I was typing, you'd hear it, but I'm not.
There you go. So there was no typing of any forgetfulness going on there at all. He says going, hi, Marcy's in the chat, folks. Hello, Marcy. How you doing,
Well,
love?
who'd have thunk it?
A wonderful Scale Model Muse is in. So, yeah. I preempted it on Wednesday and put a Hugs Muse in just in case because I knew I'd forget her.
Oh, yeah.
I was immediately scared because I was like, yeah.
Bits you didn't even know you had were clenching.
Yeah, I'm still on edge as well for those that are interested because I still haven't discovered why I've been good.
Oh, yeah. No, there's something awry there.
Something not right, is there?
Which is more believable? One, that you've actually been good and got well-deserved praise. Or that H is just waiting to figure out the best way to get back at you for doing some dumb nonsense. But she's biding her time, so she can still look fresh.
Thinking. And I'm trying to think what I may have done that was dumb.
Yeah, because if she doesn't have the response straight away and then she leaves it a bit, she'll look weak, you see. Yeah. So she knows, in order to look fresh and still on the attack, she needs to give you a false sense of security. And
this all stems from the other night having me dinner, but having spotted Dick and Custard afterwards. Oh, that's a treat. She said, you've been good. I disappeared and I'm like, okay.
You didn't tell me that. No,
she says I've been good. How am I going to absolutely balls this up so that I'm back in the bad books? Yeah.
Well, you don't need to ask that question because you will.
Absolutely. It goes without saying, mate. This is me.
Yeah. How am I going to ball this up? Oh, wait, I'm alive. There you go. Question answered.
Tried on several occasions to try to get in the conversation. So, you say I've been good, but I haven't figured out a way of doing it without her noticing, so I've just decided not to.
Do you not think it's very telling that when you do something wrong, you know about it in every excruciating detail? When you do something good, you've got no idea what you've done and it's never told you. It's like it's all very well saying, if you do something wrong, you're going to know what you've done in every possible way.
I think she's lulling me into a false sense of security.
Yeah. Or, well, there is one other possibility we haven't considered. She might be after something.
That's what I thought. I thought,
is it possible there's something that she wants that you would need to have some sort of say in? And
yeah, it's coming up the crimbo, isn't it? See, so part of me thinks she might have spied something, but
is she actually buttering you up for something?
Yeah, but she doesn't need to, because she knows if she says I'm going to get that, I'm just going to go, yeah, all right.
I know, but there is, maybe she's just observing the social night. I don't know.
I don't know, but
I'd still be concerned.
I'm very concerned, mate.
Any praise for you from H is a matter of great concern.
I am. I even went out and made sure that I hadn't left any of the buttons in a place where they were, because I photographed them all before I tampered.
I like the fact you admit that you can't resist tampering, but you take precautions to minimise the results.
Oh, yeah, I take photographs on the phone just to make sure that when I go into dialy-turny mode and turn all the dials on the cooker and the washing machine and everything, and then stand there going, I'm not scared, see? And then I frantically check my phone and go around and microscopically put them all back. Yeah. I
love the idea that you feel compelled to go and do all this, but for no actual purpose, just purely for the actual purpose of being able to do it. That's just so adorable.
Oh, yeah, it's pent up tension, isn't it? Because she goes out and I'm like, straight to the kitchen, touch, press this, press that, and then I go around rubbing all the fingerprints off and putting it all back.
Yeah.
I've actually gone round, right? This is sad now. I've actually come in here and got me blue rubber gloves on, gone out, cleaned all the fingerprints off. Like she's going to come in with a forensic team, mind you.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen? You'll go out and she'll be like, you've been touching my stuff. How'd you know? Because it's clean. Yeah. Well, how'd you know? Because I spilled some coffee on it this morning. Oh.
Yeah, I know you've been touching that because I rung Grissom out of CSI and he came round and fingerprinted everything. Damn it.
Well, I've not watched NCIS for a few days.
Oh, disappointed in you.
I've not had a chance. I've been watching I, Claudius with the evil music.
Yeah, let's get a bit of the paint off the brush. Regularly clean your brush, folks, just to get any scuzz off of it.
Varus Quintilis, where are my eagles?
Purely and simply because you always end up with a nice tip on your brush then. But literally, I've not gone mad with the edge highlighting, but just enough. Just to catch a couple of the edges of the light.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's a subtle hint that your eye notices. It doesn't need to. It's show, not tell. It tells your eye there's something there.
And then all I'll do then is all these little recesses as I'll go round with the crimson, the Carabourg crimson at the end, and I shall do a pin wash in all the little panel lines just to put them down a tad, and the theory being it will just leave the edge highlight. Don't know what that is. I've done that, but
it's irrelevant. It's a relevant gesture that
that's
you have to
edge
do.
highlight. Oh, I'll tell you another thing I did this week, and you're going to like this, Fox. The eagle-eyed of you might have already noticed, but that's our wet palettes that we both use. He says.
I still stopped using mine, to be honest.
So that's what we use as our wet palettes, and it comes with a little tray insert that you put your brushes in.
Yep.
All well and good, but I kept forgetting that my toads and all my sexy brushes were in there. So I've moved them over there to the sexy brush pot, and I've converted my tray to a texture palette.
Ooh, very nice.
Look at that, folks.
With all the greeble, I can see a Beyblade wheel.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. So there's a bit for everyone in there. But
there's the top of a Beyblade hull turret.
So that's what I've done with mine. I've just converted it. I've got a nice little texture palette in there because when I'm doing stuff like I'm doing at the moment, if I'm doing any dry brush, instead of me having to lean over all the way over here, he says, reaching out to get his big one.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you can't fit that on the bench in a live stream.
No, you just want a little one, don't you?
So that's what I've done. So, yeah, and it's been put to good use so far this week.
Awesome. Me like.
So there you go. See, I've been modifying things again.
Modify. It's depressing that I can spot Beyblade components though a mile away.
I'm proud of you, mate. The eagle-eyed would have spotted the Sherman, what's his name, mantle. Couple of car wheels are in there.
Yep.
Some arms, some legs, a warhammer arm with a mole grip.
Yep.
So
There was an orc arm there at the bottom.
absolutely, folks. So yeah, it's just a simple little way of using some greebles. Putting them to good use. Right.
You're a simple little way.
You're rambling again, Cole, so let's put a bit more purple on me wet palette.
One other thing I got off Amazon, cheaply. Never let it be said that you shouldn't buy cheap, crappy brushes on Amazon, right? Because we've all got our collection of cheap, crappy brushes that we use for things like dry brushing and pigments. The brushes that they've become so old and knackered that you don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
You can't use them for anything, but they're still great for doing the grunt work like texturing or washes and stuff, and I've got loads of them. But I picked up a few sets, and one thing I did get in passing, because I kept meaning to get one, was one of these. It's a girly makeup blushy brush type thing.
Oh, they're a godsend, didn't they?
But it's like, it's double-ended for her pleasure. And it's so soft, it's dead relaxing. So if I want to relax, I just do that on my hand. But I've not used it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing how good it is for some proper soft colour blends and things.
Oh, yeah. I tend to use the set that I allegedly robbed off of Ellen's dressing table.
Yeah, you use the set
doing
that
all of my bluing on the car exhausts, motorcycle exhausts.
The set that in no way came from anything to do with H whatsoever.
Well, she was trying to get her claws to operate the key code on the door the other day. I went, what are you trying to do, love? I'm trying to get in there. I went, oh, all right. Why is that, dear? She said, I've lost all my makeup brushes. I don't know where they've gone. I said, you had them in your bag when you went away for your cricket. I can remember you putting them in there. So she ambled off going. Tommy. Yeah, she said, I must have left them at the hotel.
You little liar, Tommy.
Yeah, look at that. All these ones with the gold ferrule all got robbed off of her.
Good job you're not saying this on the internet or anything where people can see it.
Oh, damn it. Oh,
now,
no.
You've also just opened up so much blackmail potential to all the viewers as well. You do realise that.
Oh, damn it. Why did you not stop me?
You can now not afford to annoy anybody in the audience ever again.
Yeah, have I told you how much I love you all?
Have I told you lately that I'm in trouble?
I'm proper in the doghouse now, ain't I?
Yeah, because you said to me that H sometimes watches.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, you've blown your trousers.
Yeah, the well-spoken man.
I would have let you know before you started saying all that, but there's no comedy in that. So
no, I was on a roll as well.
I do apologise to viewers that I'm doing the bits that probably look terrible on camera because it's just all wheel tyres and I can't really get you a good camera angle when I'm doing these. So
yeah, I'm happy with how that's coming out now. Just want to get a little edge around there.
I really wish it was practical. It was practical to not put the tracks on this before painting, but it's not.
Yeah, it is one of those, isn't it? Squishy alert, squishy alert. Edward Leonard is in, saying hello. Hello, Edward. How you doing, geese? There you go. Get your squishies here, folks.
It would be much easier to paint the tyres on the wheels and stuff without the tracks on, but putting the tracks on after you've painted them, you're going to mess up your paint job.
Normally ends up with biblical backside mode, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you've got to fettle with them and make glue everywhere, and you can't really do that. You've just ruined your paint job. It's not advised.
Way all the way around there.
And people say to me, can I paint my Beyblade tracks and then glue them afterwards? I say, I've got news for you. There is no bathroom. And then they go away confused. And I go away happy.
Absolutely. You do your special little super secret happy dance, don't you?
Yep. Hey, that's only on weekends. Shh. I cover up the camera when I'm doing that, so in the microphone.
I'll see what you did.
Just in case of accidental, dissemination. As a dissemination.
Yeah, that and all. Absolutely. Don't forget, folks, no e-models show this Monday with us.
Mm-hmm.
So I shall do a bit of solo tank goodness for you, folks. So tune in Monday to e-models and it'll be Festa at the bench again. Doing a bit more on the 1/16th tank just to fill in. So it won't be the four of us this week. It'll just be Muggins here.
I thought you might have done something on your channel.
I could do. If you want to see me do a solo on mine, I'll do a solo on mine.
just take advantage of it. Well, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you.
I could do. I didn't actually give that a thought.
I don't know if they'll want new pole dancing on their channel, really.
Yeah.
I know Pete Mate wants the revenue, but
yeah, but I think he'd get a YouTube strike. Yeah, if it comes to it, I'll do something solo on mine. I hadn't actually thought of that, mate.
Had you not? No.
Because I'm useless, keep telling you, mate. I don't think of things, do I?
You're not useless, you're just special.
Yeah. Demanding, as Helen puts it. God, you could be so demanding
you can be a diva
sometimes. Yeah.
I'm sure you could be a brilliant diva if you put your mind to it.
I wouldn't know how to be quite honest with you, mate.
That's normally the first thing a diva would say.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I am who I am.
Let's have a look. Let's see what chat's doing.
That's one half done. Days.
Scale Model Mew says, "Geez, Cole." I think that's from you. I don't know why you're saying that.
Have I been naughty, Muse? What have I done?
I don't know. PJ says, "Speaking of coffee done, beer time." Edward says, "It's probably just a tumour, Cole." Yeah. I've got news for you. It's not a tumour. It's not a tumour. I don't know what that's reference to. Just wear the gloves before you touch the part on the dolly where the mean man hurt you, says Ed. I don't know who we're talking to now. I've lost track of the conversation. Edward says, "Hello, Jeff. Hope you're doing okay and Halloween was good in your neighbourhood." Mew says, "I'm good, just tired." Jeff Candygram says, "We had a great turnout for Halloween and the weather was perfect." Good time.
Nice one.
Yeah. We do the best thing at Halloween. We just turn off all the porch lights and anybody rings on the door, we just ignore it. Because that's my candy. Go away.
I would have said I have another confession to make, but I'm not going to do it because we're live.
I know what that confession is.
Time.
I know what that confession is because I think you've told me in the past.
Yeah.
You told me about it. I know what you were going to say.
I did it again.
What's it worth for me to not say?
You're not getting no finances out of me, pal. You can grass me up as much as you like. I'm not scared.
That was certainly an answer. But bearing in mind we're live on the internet, and there's no takesy-backsies when you're on the internet.
I have nothing to hide, dear.
Nothing to hide, indeed.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm trying to convince there, but I don't think I've managed to convince anyone.
I know there's a draw.
Damn it, you get.
There's a draw in that man cave.
I know nothing place. Of what draw you're on about, dear.
It's a magical place.
I know nothing. I deny anything. Not that there's anything to deny. Just want to clarify that.
But if there was something to deny, you deny it.
Yeah. If there were a draw, yeah. Damn it. I don't think I left the webcam on.
Well, that's the thing. When you say you don't think,
yeah,
that means you've got enough for doubt. That's like when your brain wakes up in the middle of the night saying, "Wait, did you clean your airbrush?"
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, "I did. I think I'm pretty... I have to go and check now."
Yeah, but I'm that person that remotes into his PC just so that he can see his airbrush rack and go, "Yeah, I did," because look, they're all back in the airbrush rack.
Or when your brain's like, "Did you put the bins out?" "Yep."
Yeah.
"I'm sure I did." "Are you sure?" "Yep." "Are you sure?"
H caught me doing that when I was laid up after my spine surgery. I remote access downstairs and I was just sitting there longingly staring at the bench. She's like, "Please tell me you're not staring at your bench." It's like, don't know how that happened, love.
You were like, "I'm building in my mind."
Yeah, I said, "I just wanted to make sure that I'd put the lid on me paint." She went, "You sad old git." Less of the old.
What does H do for hobbies then? To pass, I know she has a cricket that she goes to, but what does she do for hobbies?
She used to do a lot of cross stitch, but since her hands are riddled with arthritis and she's had her fingers and that fused, she's kind of not been able to do it. So she's in limbo at the moment. She's due to get the other hand done. So once the healing process is all done, she's going to then see what she can have a go at doing. But
what do you think she would find good? What do you think she would enjoy?
Not picking on me would be something I would thoroughly encourage her to take up as a hobby.
Realistically, what do you think she would enjoy?
I honestly don't know, to be honest.
Does she have an artistic bent? Does she like to draw or
No.
anything like that?
No, she can't draw a circle, let alone anything else, mate. She's useless. That's where I come in, because I used to have to do all the drawing needs for the kids and all the murals in their bedrooms and that.
Does she have any musical leanings? Would she like to play an instrument or?
Again, with her fingers, mate.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She used to play the keyboard. She got into drumming, but she's had to stop whilst her fingers have all been healing because obviously shock through the hands. So
yeah,
everything's in limbo for her. But she had a go at having a go at playing the piano or the keyboard, should I say?
Yeah.
But she was struggling with the dexterity in her fingers, so she had to park it again. So
no, I mean, I was drawn to keyboards just purely because I can't bend the end of my fingers, so I couldn't do vibrato on like a violin or anything like that.
No, that's
and
right.
I wasn't able to finger all the really complicated chords on a guitar because, again, I can't bend the end of my finger.
That's what she's like, because she's had them all fused.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Keyboards are easy. I tried saxophone, and that just, I looked at all the I tried to learn all the key. I'm like, I can't get my brain to actually figure this out.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's a little bit in limbo at the moment. And it's like, I said to her, we'll have a go at this. She said, well, it's pointless at the moment because I'm about to have the other hand done. She said, and I'm going to end up feeling the frustration again because I may have been able to do something. She said, so I want to just get the hands done and dusted.
Yeah.
Let them both heal.
Yeah.
Do all the physio. And then see where I'm at. So that's when I know to walk away and leave the conversation because.
Could she get into video games? Maybe. No.
Nah, don't float her boat at all, mate.
Okay.
No. She likes her reading. She likes her audio books, all of that lot. Music, and she'll go to concerts all over, different places, different artists. So she's into that. She goes up the West End a lot to do her shows and see her shows.
Could she get into writing, maybe?
She's always wanted to write a book. She's got the software. I know she started one a good few years ago. She did a children's book for the boys.
Oh, yeah.
That they used to read. And it got to the point where she was asked to print a load out for the school so that they could do it in the reading classes. So she was quite chuffed with that. I think she's got a natural touch for it. But,
well,
yeah.
I was going to say then, if she's done that before, then if she's writing children's stuff and you can do drawings for it, then
yeah. So I think she would be good at it, to be quite honest with you, because she is very, very well read. She's the well-read woman. Yeah, so...
Well, there's an option for her. Bit of writing.
Yeah, so she's always fancied it, and I do my best to encourage it, but I don't force the issue, if that makes sense. Because you know what it's like. If someone's at you all the time, you start not wanting to do it because everyone's at you. So
you just want to remind them that the option's there and plant that seed, and then it's up to them, isn't it?
I think she'd be good at it myself because she does have a wonderful way with words, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it would be something that people would probably want to read. So
yeah. When I was a younger lad in my early teens or late teens, one of my favourite possessions in the world was my typewriter. I used to love typing on that, writing stories.
She's still got her typewriter upstairs, mate.
Yep. I got from a jumble sale a proper old Imperial 1920s typewriter. So it was an absolute, it was just busted. But then at one point I got this little cheap W.H. Smith Red Fox typewriter, just a little typewriter. And I had that for years and I wrote so many stories and stuff on that. I used to love it.
Oh, yeah.
It was all nonsense, of course. I'm probably a terrible writer, but I had so much fun writing. It was just,
I hope she finds her niche. I think once she starts getting her confidence back with it, I think she'll be fine. But it's like anything. She just,
she needs to find her own way, really.
Yeah. She doesn't use the typewriter now so much. She does a lot of stuff on the computer. But again, it's the typing side of it is a problem at the moment because she's so arthritic in her hands, you know. So
I mean, that's the thing with it there. I mean, it's not like you can say you should try this. It's more just a case of, you know, you can do everything you can to make her aware of things, but it's up to her to find.
Yeah, exactly.
What she needs to do.
I can see the frustration in her because she's trying to use her left hand and it's pretty much functionless now.
Yeah.
Because all her thumb joints are arthritic. Her fingers are all looked like mine are. Her left hand, it looks like a bowl of Twiglets, you know, and so she's pretty much favouring the hand now. She rarely uses it. And, of course, being an old-school touch typist, that's really quite frustrating for her because she was one of those. Put her fingers on the raised little bits on the keys and she didn't even have to look at it. You know, she'd be beavering away. She can't do that at the moment because her left hand just doesn't function. She spends more time hitting the backspace button than doing anything else. And that's her frustration. She's like, oh, all I want to do is just, And I said about getting her some speech software.
Aye.
So that she could just talk, you know, narrate what she wants to say.
Yeah.
And
I mean, maybe
Mew says speech to text is a thing, you know. Yeah, I was just getting to that part of the conversation, Marcy. Panzer's in as well, saying hello.
Hey, Panzer. Maybe it's when she's done all the healing and everything. Maybe it might be that she finds that an actual physical typewriter might be easier to use than a keyboard because it's more.
She's got the option because she's still got her original one upstairs, but
because it's a whole different thing to a squishy keyboard, isn't it? Yeah. So they might give her the separation that she needs for that.
Exactly.
Maybe.
You know,
I used to love my typewriter.
There are speech programs out there, which was where I was going, but again, you know, it's one of them. I don't want to force the issue with her.
No, she has to find her own path. You can show her paths available, but she has to choose her path.
I hope she finds a little niche, bless her, because she needs that out. You know,
everybody needs something, don't they, to decompress?
Well, she's got to decompress from living with me, mate, because that's enough to drive anyone nuts, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, she has got a need more than most, I think, with that.
But she'll come good. It's looking like early next year now that she'll be getting that hand done. So
cool. She's been waiting long enough.
Yeah, she was supposed to go in at the middle part of the year, but she just didn't feel like it.
Oh, that's me orders. I'll be back.
No worries. There you go. So let's just... Oh, there you go. There's the first big twitch of the night. So let's get the cotton bud out and wipe that off quick. This is my world. So we'll just take that off of there. Get me meds, actually, to make sure that I haven't got to take another one. What have we got there? Yeah, I've got a beta blocker to take, so we'll do that in a second. Just clean that off and give that a little bit of a brush. So, Fox, you should write your memoir. You probably would do a good job. I suggest the title, Dog Tags, Army Clothes and Hair Extensions. Yeah. My life as a princess. Yeah. Let's just give that a little bit of cleanse. Yeah, that would be a good book. Oh, could you just imagine that? It would take him 15 pages just to introduce himself. There you go, look at that. Just sit for a minute and then we'll have a scroll up and have a look at what's been going on in the chat because I've probably missed a hell of a lot. So let's have a looky scroll up there. Right, that was Jeff. Putting in a soup chat, thank you very much. Jeff says, thanks, PJ. Entirely my pleasure. Every discretionary dollar spent is a vote for the kind of future you want. Absolutely. Was that a keep Fox quiet for 5 minutes super chat? Was that, Jeff? Because I'll put him on a timer when he comes back, if that was what that was for. Everyone's saying hello to Marcy. PJ says, speaking of up, he says, coffee's done, beer time. Oh, what beer? San Miguel, PJ? You says, coffee. Have you done your coffee walk of shame yet, Marcy? Your morning coffee walk yet, love? Because, yeah, there's a process that Marcy goes through, which is a morning routine of, heading towards the coffee machine. What else is going on in the chat? Edward says it's probably just a tumour. Saying hello to everyone. Everyone's saying hello to Edward. Marcy says, geez, I know. Yeah. Edward says, wear the gloves before you touch the part of the dolly where the mean man hurt you. Absolutely, Edward. You would think that I would do that before I even... But I'm a bloke. I just go out and do it. I get all excited thinking, yeah, I can go and touch all the appliances. And then you stop dead in your tracks like Tom out of Tom and Jerry. You do that little screech and then you're like, chin hits the floor. Yeah, time to get myself out the hole. Jeff's on about Halloween. Yes, how did your Halloweens go in the States? Because it is really a big thing out there, Halloween. It's not such a big thing in the UK now, which I think's a shame, to be honest. Because all the kids and that, you know, our boys used to look forward to Halloween every year, and it seems to have waned a bit in the UK. Pans are saying, morning, big morning to you, Pans. Thanks for your message the other night as well, mate, about the big Sherman. Excuse me, massive help, Pans. So thanks for that, mate. You'll be getting a credit on this Wednesday's solo stream on E-Models. Everyone's giving, what's his chops? Edward squishy hugs. Marcy says, not using it, it'll only cause it to get worse faster. Yeah, she's been putting up with the arthritis for about 15 years in that hand now. And yeah, they're pretty much surgical intervention has to be done. She had her right hand done about 3 years ago, nearly. So, yeah. Edward saying Fox about his memoir, The Ponytail Diaries. Absolutely. Marcy says it's not daytime, laugh out loud. It's 9:30 p.m. now. Oh, happy days. PJ says my memoir would be my life. It went that way. Absolutely, mate. Yeah. Yeah, my memoir. I'm trying to think what I could call my memoir. Big boy did it and run away. Yeah. Yeah. My life of being guilty. Yeah. Yeah, my life in the doghouse. I'll make it sound worse than it actually is, but I need all of this telling off. I really do, because I am that person that is a nightmare to live with. I freely admit it. But it's like anything. You just want to have a laugh, don't you? There's enough misery and heartache to last a lifetime in this world. And I just want to chill down and goon about and be five. Panzer would be, mine would be titled, It Cost How Much? I could do Festa's Guide to Shrinkflation. I think that would sell. I'm sure people would buy that. So what's going on in the big wide world out there that's of interest to folks other than the weather? Yeah. Are you dancing a jig, PJ, over the prospect of the 25% stake that old Geezer Chops is getting for Man United, mate? Shame it ain't 100%, but I'm sure it'll come. We've got the same at West Ham at the moment. Vanessa Gold, David Gold's daughter, wants to sell some of her late dad's shares, and we've got one fella there who eventually wants to take over the whole club, and I think it'll be a good thing because it'll take the club in a fresh direction. And that's not a criticism of David Sullivan. I think he's done a good job with what he's had. But I think if they want to go to the next level, they're going to make a change at some point. And he's getting on a bit anyway. So a bit of fresh blood, fresh vision, I don't think hurts anyone. I'll do the same on these guns, just a bit of subtle edge highlighting, he says. Yeah, take note, folks. You just did hear me say subtle. Yeah. Just lightly caress the edge with that. Just flick it over. And this has still got to have some washes put on it and some shades yet. So I just want to get some of that started. Everyone said hello to Pans. Marcy says, my model club won the Crosstown Challenge. She got 3rd place in the figures category. Congratulations, love. Well done, darling. See? Told you you're an artist, Marcy. You are an artist, love. At the end of the day, well done. A big congratulations to you. So, yeah, well done, Marcy. Got a little bit of edge highlighting on there. Just want to emphasize that. And then we'll do the gems. It just gives a little bit of, I wouldn't say depth, but just, yeah, just a bit of something. Just run that down there. Same on that one. Just use me bench to steady me hand, why not? A bit under there, like that. That's all I want on there. Nothing major, just enough. Still got the underside as well to do the shading on, just to bring the edges of that in as well. But just putting a little bit of work on them guns now. And I'm not gluing any of these on until I've done me checkers, because where all these guns would be sticking out, I think potential for me to knock them all off again is too high. So I'll only have a wibble. I know you'd like to see me wibble, but I'd be like a 5-year-old. Oh, it's broke. So it's not worth it. I don't want to tempt fate. If I edge highlight that, give that a little bit of detail, because I've got all the guns going on here. I've got a couple of extra bods going in this as well compared to the box art. There's a bit of a fat line there, Carl. Too much paint there, you pilch. Just get rid of that. Here you go. Knock a bit of paint off of there. Bit of water just to thin that back down. There you go. PJ says, I get excited about Ratcliffe's 25 when and if it happens. He might be bringing Toto Wolff with him, apparently. Yes, I heard that rumour that Toto Wolff wants to invest. So, yeah. I hope it comes good, PJ, because it needs something up there, to be honest with you. And if his investment can get your infrastructure where it should be, then that could be the start of things good. So, but I still think your long-term solution is to, how can we say, get rid of the double glazing. See what I did there? Hopefully it comes good, but we're in the same boat as, you know, this Czech billionaire's been wanting to take over for about 5 years, but he's just biding his time. But, you know, he'll buy up the other 10%. That'll take him to 47%. So he's getting there slowly. And he has got first refusal to buy Sullivan's shares as well. So I think Sullivan just wants to enjoy his time, because obviously the death of David Gold, you know, they were great friends, and he just wants to try to secure his friend's legacy. And I think once he realises that, you know, the interests of the club are going to be well represented, I think he'll then look at it and go, all right then, I'll take the offer. Which can't take all that money with you. He's a billionaire anyway. Just shocking the amount of money involved, really is. But yeah, Toto Wolff being involved would be interesting. There was a rumour that Hamilton might invest as well, but I don't know how true that is, PJ, because he wanted to invest in Inter Miami, I think, when Beckham started that up, but I don't know whether it actually happened, so would be interesting, mate. There you go, just a subtle little shade, and then I've got another layer of purple to go on that, so yeah, something different in it. Got the underside of that to do next, Cole, so let's put that way to remind you. Mew says the piece was fabulous. I see what he did there. Absolutely. It's just not curious if anyone got me on video. My reaction to the first place winner was epic. Oh, was it? Oh dear. Did you do subtle, Marcy? Come on. Oh dear. Oh dear. Was you naughty? Come on, tell us. Good for you. Is that because you don't think that they should have won it then, Marcy? You know, was it not? Do you think it was a bit of a slightly rigged decision then, love? Let's get rid of that, because that was a bit too much of an edge on there, Carl. Didn't want that big splodge of paint on there. Edward says, awesome. Can't wait to see the reaction. Yeah, the piece was fabulous, yeah. There are such talented builders out there, aren't there? I mean, I get, obviously, with me gallery, you know, people go, oh, are you being genuine when you react? Yes, I am, because I get blown away every week by people's work. And I love seeing the variety of work. I love seeing how it's been executed, and credit where credit's due in my book. If I didn't think I could be inspired by it, I just wouldn't do a gallery. So I like the fact that people post their work, and it's picking up all the different techniques as well that people are using, because, you know, I'm an old fart at the end of the day. We get stuck in our ways, and it's like anything. You always think your way of doing something is the only way. But for me, I like seeing new concepts. I had it with Luke Wald over at Scale Motor, a young fella, and he's a bike build a bit like myself. And I was watching one of his videos, and he's got the bike unpainted and all of that lot, and he's cutting all the fairing off, all the tank, all the seat unit, all of that lot, and I'm like, what's he doing that now for? And he screwed it all to the frame. And it was like, yeah, I might as well get it all painted, primed, and put the decals on. So he done all of that lot. Got all the decals on before he built the engine and all of that. He said, then I can clear coat it, put it over there and leave it whilst I build all the engine. And I thought, bloody good idea. So I shamelessly stole that idea, and I do it on all my bike builds now. So well done, Luke. Props to you, mate. So it just goes to show you, someone can come along with a new idea. Have at it is my motto. And I do like giving people the credit. So when I did it on my E-Models Suzuki, I said, oh, big shout out to Luke at Scale Motor, because I've nicked his idea to do this, and gave him a little shout out, because at the end of the day, I've stolen how he does it. The least I can do is give the fella a credit. And it's like Panzer came out and gave me some info on the Sherman. So when I do Wednesday's show, I shall give him a shout out. You know, thanks to Panzer for reaching out and giving me the idea there, or the information regarding last week's question. So it's nice to share the love. I tell you what, that can go in the bin. Why are you wasting your time with that? Scuzzy as arseholes. Oh, come on. It's up here. There you go. Much better. See, I keep the wooden sticks. I cut all of the ends off the cotton buds, but I keep me wooden sticks purely and simply because there might be something I need, like a big, wooden logs or something for a build, and I can just cut a load of them up. So I've got a big box full of all the plastic tubes from the old plastic cotton buds in case I need any styrene tubes. So I keep everything, mate. I'm a right hoarder. But there's always something that comes in useful that you've used that you think, oh, I could use that for my hobby. So we'll do it. Go. Just run that along there. Just to knock that off of there. And that's subtly got a tinsy-wincy little edge highlight on it. And this has got to have all its washes yet.
I'm back.
Happy days. All sorted.
Aye. All top.
Happy days. There you go.
Right, where was I up to? Oh, yes, grey.
Right, let's give that a cleanse. Oh, right, Marcy. Yeah, she said, no, the work was amazing. Happy days.
Have I missed anything?
No, just been killing time till we got back. Yeah, no, just been killing time. Yattering away, talking rubbish as I always do.
Nothing wrong with that. Stick to what you do your best.
Absolutely, mate. I like talking rubbish. All right, time to dig out me filbert brush.
Filbert. Partial to a nice filbert, aren't you?
I do. I like a bit of filbert. Right.
Especially after a good meal.
Yeah, we want a bit of that now. 4.
Easy now. He's 4-5. No, he's 5-4.
4-4. 4-4-5. East 5-4.
I killed it when I got it wrong, didn't I?
You did.
I did.
I tried to get you back, but yeah.
Yeah, even I know when to just give up. It's just, sometimes you think, yeah, it's just, no. Give it up.
All the concentration. Right.
We're both doing thinky things.
All right, PJ, no worries, mate. I will do that in a sec, fella. He says, 2 hours, time for you to stand up. Yes, I shall do that in a sec then, PJ. Now that the GNU's back, I shall make a point.
Good lad.
Of doing me standy up to these mates. I'll just quickly put a little bit of this on, and that can be drying whilst I do my standy uppy thing. Thank you, PJ, for reminding me, mate, because I've got to take the red pill as well, mate. So I shall do that imminently.
Is that the one that keeps you in the Matrix or out of the Matrix?
I think it's in the Matrix, if I remember rightly. But yeah, that's me beta blocker.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Many fun times have been had. Get a bit of that off.
One good thing about doing these tyres on the wheels is you don't have to be too neat and tidy with them or the tracks because they're going to be covered in crap anyway, dirt and dust. So you don't have to worry too much about being all prissy with them and neat and tidy.
I didn't even realise it was 2 hours. Damn, that's gone quick.
Must have, I wasn't even aware.
There you go. Doesn't need as much underneath as what the top had because a lot of it's in shadow, but I still want to do that blend on it because why not?
Will it blend?
Yeah, blend. I'll just have a bit more shadow because in the underneath, innit? Underneath the Star Weaver
thing. I can't remember what it was called.
Just think Uncle Weavy.
I think Uncle Weavy, absolutely, yes.
Right, let's put that on there. Let's close the lid of that. Standing up times, I'm being good, PJ.
Do you know what you've just reminded me of?
Oh, what's that?
I don't know if you had one when you were a kid, but if anybody out there had one, I had a Starbird when I was a kid.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was that toy spaceship that when you tilted it, it made a going up or a going down noise.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you could pull the front off and it'd be like a separate spaceship. It was about 3 foot long. It was like this white plastic spaceship. And it was just like a little Mercury gravity switch. And if you tilted it, it made the pitch of the engine sound go up or down.
Oh, nice one.
Just remembered that one from when I was a kid.
Let's pop that on there for a minute.
Right, so that's a really rough and ready grey coat on the tyres.
That can go back on there. That can go back on there.
Just going to get a black wash anyway, so again, I don't need to make it too neat and tidy because it doesn't matter.
Happy days. Let's just quickly flick that round on there. Just stop that drying. Right. Preparation. Right.
Preparation H. Preparation Festa. Preparation F.
Meds taken. Happy days.
Yep, we can hear them.
Cup of tea.
Have you a cup of tea?
Oh, nectar.
See, this is why I can't do unweathered models like shiny things, because I rely on weathering to cover up all my shonky paintwork. And there's a lot of shonky paintwork when I'm around. It's
oh,
the way of
really?
things. The way I work is shonky. I've not got the patience to be all precise. I'm almost impressionist. I like large brush strokes, you know. So I count on the weathering to.
Well, I heard you liked a nice large stroke.
Oh, hey! Here all week, try to fish.
I'm here all week. I'm here all week.
Here all week, try to fish. Right, so that's that done. I did
One
the
for the
exhaust
dad.
pipes.
One for the dad.
Pipes of exhaust, plume de battante.
What colour's that? Lead belcher.
It's that colour.
Bit of that.
Ooh, Mechanica Standard Grey tastes horrible. Ugh,
What's that in there?
I've just learnt this.
Yeah, I am listening. Is that a metallic?
Yeah. Mechanica
Of course
Standard
it
Grey.
is.
Yeah.
Go first.
What's that?
Yeah, so I thought that was grey sear in the wrong slot then, but it's not. It's something else. Grey something steel.
Are you getting obsessive about your paint racks and making them in order?
I do.
Which is correct.
I've got them in the order of the colour wheel, mate.
This is correct. It's a very good thing to do.
And then I go from the left to right, dark to light.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I spend ages turning all the pots so that the labels are facing the same way. And I've worked it out that whenever I open the door, it vibrates the jars and they spin round. And I'm constantly having to line them all up. Because, yeah.
Now, let's see if you could somehow build into that a way to keep the paint shaken every time you open the door. There's a technology potential there.
There is, but I must admit that paint rack has been an absolute godsend because it takes up very little room on a space that wasn't being used. So, there you go. Oh.
Just painting the bit of spare track that's on the side of the turret, because that would be just as rusty as the other tracks.
Yeah, we are suitably sitting back down now because I've had a quick stand up.
There you go.
Are we going there? It's 2 o'clock. What do you want to do? Go till 3?
I'm good for you, mate. Mum and Wolf's gone to bed now, so
You sure?
I'm free as a
Because,
bird.
you know, I'm mindful of the fact that, you know, you and Beauty sleep and all of that.
I do need a lot of it, don't I? No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Whatever
Don't
you
worry about
want,
that.
mate, is what we'll do.
I'll go till you say stop.
Yeah.
As
all
long as
right.
you're happy to go for that long without, you know, hurting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'll see how I am at 3. If I'm getting a bit twitchy, then and a bit sore in the back, then we'll call it.
Okay.
Apologies for my heavy breathing, by the way. I'm a bit bunged up today for some reasons.
You got the bung.
Yeah, well, I had my flu and COVIDs a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just wondering whether or not they're just, But I don't think it was live virus this year. It was just a immune system kickstart, but
I'm not sure which one I had.
yeah, I think part of it's where I've had to change all my meds as well. So
yeah, it's probably messing your immune system up a bit. It always frustrates me when, like, Mum Wolf goes goes for a flu jab. But she's like, I don't like the flu jab because every time I have it, I get the flu afterwards. I'm like, well, yeah, because that's the jab actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is stimulating an immune response. That's how it works.
Yeah, I had both arms this time. It was like, yeah, one in each. Yeah, have at it.
Yeah. But she's like, well, I don't like the fact. Why do I always get the cold? Because you're reacting to that's the whole point.
That's the whole point of it. It re-stimulates your immune system.
Yeah, bless her. Yeah, it makes it respond in a way that if you've got that.
And it is difficult because, like you say, you have a depleted immune system anyway.
Yeah.
So they have to take that into account, and your allergies and all your little illnesses, should I say, your ailments. So, and they said to me, you'll probably find you're going to get bunged up to buggery, mate. It's perfectly normal, but we need to just keep an eye on you because, you are immune deficient or whatever they compromised or whatever they call it.
Immunocompromised.
So,
yeah.
I said, all right. So she spoke to H and just went through bits and bobs with her. And that was it. But like H said to me earlier, you're a bit bunged up. And I said, yeah, a little bit. She said, but you're not chesty, she said, because when you was a kip this afternoon, she said, I sat there listening to your chest for a while, she said, so.
It could just be just a normal cold that you picked up. I mean, it's that time of year, so.
Absolutely. So I said, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
In other news, you know how about 5 minutes ago I said, oh my God, Mechanica Standard Grace tastes horrible?
Yeah.
I just did it again.
I have a new contender. We all know Agrax Earthshade is a bit bish.
Yeah.
Anyone that's licked their brush. But there's another very close contender.
Is there? I mean, Mechanica Standard Grey is coming close to me because it's pretty flipping awful.
Dragonoff Nightshade.
Oh.
That's got a little bit of a twang to it as well. I'm not suggesting everyone go out and lick their brush with it. I'm just saying.
See, I've very rarely used Dragonoff Nightshade, so I'm not familiar with what that tastes like.
Well, you know what I'm like.
You will taste it.
I went and bought all of the shades in one hit because there was a deal on, wasn't there? And I managed to score them for a really, really tidy, cheap price. So,
nothing wrong with that, buddy.
You was on about Agrax Earthshade one night, and I decided to go through the pot, see which one tasted worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the greatest thing I would recommend you do, folks. I'm just saying.
It is a brave man who voluntarily licks a brush that's been used for Agrax Earthshade, because it is.
I needed that. I don't know why.
Like I say, Mechanica Standard now is like, ooh.
Yeah. I don't know why I turned round and put that away, to be honest with you, because I still need it. Wilkinson, you are a spoon.
Spoon.
Let's do that. Spun that on for a minute because I want to.
Where's my mixie brush?
Just put a tinsy wincy bit of that.
Retro Rabbit's in. Says, did I miss anything good?
In there.
Nah.
Hello,
nothing
Retro. You all right, geezer?
You know us. Nothing good ever comes of this place.
A little bit in there. Just want to grab that.
Oh God, nearly did it again.
That in there.
Yeah, you want to grab that?
I'll grab that, all of that, because
I want a little bit of that right there. That's what
I might as well paint his cockpit because.
Glad you finished that one.
Yeah, before I put the figure in, because I'm not going to get to any of that. Once the figure's in, I'll get my words out in a minute.
I did that with my Tau, whatever it was. I did the same thing, paint the cockpit first.
Yeah. And there's not a massive amount of detail in there, actually, because luckily for me, I kept the figure out of it so I can sit and paint him. So you've got his instrument panel and his joypad in his hands, so I can detail that up out of it. But obviously his legs and shizzle and the lower part of the dash I need to be able to get to. So I thought... I know.
Here we go. That's always the bad way to start a sentence. Yeah. I thought, if you say that to H, she'd brain you.
Yeah, I thought I'd do it like that. So that's what I'm doing, folks.
Yeah. I am going to try. Again, I'm completely stealing Uncle Night Shift's techniques here.
My friends.
Because that's how art works. You use other people's techniques and see if they work. He has this technique where he does the base grey colour for the rusty things and then puts rust wash on, but he also sometimes stipples white on so you get different tones, especially like exhausts.
Yeah.
Which looks ridiculous when you first do it, but when you actually put the rust wash on. I've not tried this before, so I'm doing it on my exhausts here. It looks terrible, but I'm hoping that when I do eventually get the...
Some of these weathering videos are so out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, I love his vision. Yeah, I like his presentation. I just like his content.
Yeah.
I make no apologies. I'm a fanboy. But again, when you come across artists, like, how can you not pick stuff up from them? Yeah.
No, well, I mean, that's... People said to me, oh, you're just copying his stuff. It's like, well, that's how art works.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just say... You know, when you're taught art at school, you're being taught art that other people have figured out. So it's the same thing. If everybody just did their own thing and nobody learned from anybody, then art would never change. But, you know, every single technique each one of us uses, we've picked up from someone else, be it from another person on a YouTube video, from a book, from somebody saying something. You know, we've all sort of figured it out and done that. And that's how art works.
Absolutely.
There's no stealing involved.
Mass stealing of all the knowledge.
Yeah. You learn by, to quote Admiral Kirk, we learn by doing.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. So I've got this like white stipple pattern now, which looks like absolute dog poop. But my hope is, I'll do a little bit of a faint wash on the top to line it as well, but my hope is that when the rust wash goes over it, it'll blend it all together and just look like stippled rust.
Yeah.
Like different colours of rust. It probably will look like absolute garbage. It probably won't work at all. But this is the fun. This is the challenge.
Marcy says, I always lick my brushes. Yeah.
I'm a brush licker. It's just a very easy, simple, quick way to get a point on your brush.
I never used to be, but recently I've started to be, and I blame you lot.
When you say you lot, you mean specifically me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. I've never been a lot before, but I'm quite happy being a lot. If you want me to be a lot, I'll be a lot.
So, yeah.
I remember watching an interview with someone from Games Workshop, and they were like, what do you say to people that lick their brushes? And they were like, well, you know, there's nothing toxic in our paints, but please don't lick your brushes. It's not good for you, even though there's nothing toxic. Like, no, you can't stop me. I've just realised I've missed a bit of gold trim that I needed to paint. How rare. Let's fix that now, shall we? Gold trim. To quote Picasso, good artists copy, great artists steal.
Yes.
And sign your work, Fox, DNA signature. Ew, that sounds kind of gross.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in reality, every single one of our models has got our DNA in it somewhere, all over it, because we've handled them and touched them.
Oh, yeah.
Drooled on them and probably fallen asleep and dribbled on them and all kinds of things. Untoward things gone on. Which brush do I want for that? I want the Viscount. I don't want that one. I'm in a mood for using the not good brushes tonight.
Yeah, I'm using a mixture. I'm using my cheapo brushes as well as me God hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Metallics, I never use me God hands for them. I always use my El Cheapos. No. But same with shades.
I've actually found as well recently, I don't know what it is, right? But I've never had a problem with GW brushes, but I've always found them to be adequate and they don't last very long. But I've got to say, and I never really enjoyed using them for like fine work because they never kept the point very well. But over the last sort of year, whether they've changed it or I've changed my technique, I've suddenly found now the finer layer brushes are just great for doing fine detail.
Yeah.
It's like right as I spent all that money buying expensive brushes with fine points like the Broken Toads, the Games Workshop brushes are like, oh, we can do it now. Oh, thanks. Could you have told me that before I spent all that money? But no, I'm actually finding them quite useful now, so they do come in handy.
Absolutely.
I treat my GW brushes as the well, not the bottom rung, because that's my crappy brushes for hard work type stuff. I treat my GW brushes as journeyman brushes, and they're Broken Toads next up.
Yeah.
But no, actually, I'd say obviously I've got my crappy brushes which don't really register because they're for violent stuff.
Yeah.
So if I was going scale of quality, I'd say Army Painter first as the lowest. I just don't use them very often, and I don't find them particularly... They're all right. They're just not... I don't know. They don't gel with me. Then Games Workshop. Nah. Then Games Workshop. Then Broken Toad, and then God Hand, I think.
Yeah.
The Army Painter brushes, I quite like the Monster one where it's quite big and it's good for sort of layer painting on areas that are too big for something like this, but not big enough for a big flat brush. But their finer brushes never really...
Yeah,
really
insane detail I like. I've got their brush set just over there in my pot. I tend to use the detail, insane detail, and their psycho, but... Yeah.
I found them to be good point brushes, but they didn't hold enough paint for me. I had to keep refilling them too.
Yeah, they're not a toad. A toad will hold a hell of a lot of paint.
No, I actually found the GW Artificer and the small layer brush more useful.
Yeah.
But they didn't hold as good a point. The Army Painters do hold a really good point.
That's until we started using the God Hand ones, I must admit.
Yeah.
We've kind of fallen in love with them a bit, haven't we?
Boy, howdy, have we?
So...
I adore them.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, my toads, I love using them because, again, they hold a lovely amount of paint in there, but I don't use them as much as I should, really, because I don't want to destroy them. And I'm a bit like that with these, if I'm honest, the God Hand ones. But I have started using them a bit more lately, so...
Yeah. I mean, that's what made me fall out with the Army Painters, is they can hold a good point, the fan ones, but they just don't hold enough paint. They don't have a big enough reservoir, and you're constantly refilling them. So,
and if you're doing a lot of tiny figures, you kind of want to be able to have a fair bit of paint in the brush, so you can just literally speed paint. It's the whole idea of it, speed paint.
Yeah.
So you can paint fast, but when you're having to keep refilling your brush, it kind of, undoes all the good that the paint's got. So.
But I don't know if it's just that I've changed my technique or my painting methods or what it is, but I'm suddenly finding I'm using this artificial layer brush and it's absolutely great. Whereas before I'd be like, I paint a little bit and it'd all splay out and I'd be having a nightmare. I could quite happily paint an entire figure with GW brushes now.
Yeah.
No problem. So...
It's like anything, isn't it? It all has its uses.
Yeah, different things. I do tend to rely on the GW brushes for the more journeyman stuff, they're just, let's get some base colours down and stuff.
Yeah.
If I was painting, say, lenses, I'd probably use my God Hands or my Broken Toads.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just because they hold a goodly bit of paint and the nice fine tips.
Go away, don't need that.
Do.
We need a bit of Everland. And it's sunset.
I love the fact that you know all the paints by name now, and you think, what do I need? I need some Avalanche Sunset on there.
Yeah, I really do need to get out a lot more. We was having this chat before we came live, and Fox was trying to remember a paint, and I just reeled off this list of paints, and he's like, you're so down the hole.
Well, the thing is that you're down the hole when you sit there, and you don't say, I need to paint that yellow. You say, I need to do an Avalanche Sunset and then give it a little hint of Uriel Yellow just on the top.
Yeah.
Because you know these specific colours well enough that you're like, that's Avalanche. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we all end up down the hole.
Yes. I need to get back into painting. I need to get back into filming painting, get the part works done, and then...
I've got a lot of painting videos that I've started to film, so...
Yeah. Well, when I've done my part works, I was partway through filming the Forge World Orc Mega Track.
Right, yeah.
It is. But I kind of want to film that Cromlech stuff as well, because I told them I would, and then that was about a year ago, so...
yeah. Especially if they've sent you it on a freebie, mate, because...
Oh, no, it wasn't. I bought them anyway, but I said I'll do some videos, and then never did. Right, I was going to paint that bit on the engine block red, wasn't I?
That's
Which
why
kind of red?
I speed film all my part works, because I'm like, they're good enough to send me it, so the least I can do is pull my thumb out my bum and get them filmed.
Yeah. Well, I'm a nightmare, because I let them pile up, because stuff gets in the way, and I think to myself, I could get a whole pack and film it in a day and have it edited in a day and just get it done.
Oh yeah, I literally.
But then I still end up with like a stack of 6 months worth. I'm like, oh, why am I such a spoon?
Because you sit there and go, I can't be bothered to do that. I'm going to play my Xbox.
No, I don't think that at all. But
yeah.
I sit there and go, I don't know. It just something weird happens in my brain.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always something weird happening in my brain. We know that.
We all go through stages where we don't have much productivity. My mistake is I sit and try and plan stuff. Right, I'm going to go and do that this week. And then, yeah, as we know, it don't always work out, does it? So
planning's not the best for you, is it, really?
Not really, no. So I've just started winging a lot of it now and just going, yeah.
I've decided that this part of this engine, which appears to have spark plugs in it, must be red. It seems to me that a big industrial engine would have mostly silver but a red bit, in that kind of like 1950s engine bay old truck red that's all worn and dirty. And
yeah,
it seems about right to me, that. So we shall paint it red and dirty it down later.
Get rid of that. Off right there. Don't need that for a minute. Clean the brush. Beat the devil out of it.
Beat the devil out of it.
Pop that away.
Best way I can explain it is, imagine some big, like, old iron something in a piece of machinery, big iron chunk of metal on an engine or something, and you have that kind of industrial red paint on it that's all worn, and like on a tractor or something. Kind of red you get on a valve handle.
Yeah. So
I don't know. It just seems to make sense to my brain.
Brush of that in there.
And the irony is, you won't be able to see this when it's done. At all. Ew.
Brush of that.
What are you doing?
Picking up a shade.
Ooh. What medium in a colour? Ooh. Nice.
Just to try something. Let's see whether or not that works.
It's never a bad idea.
Put the actual top colour on that, so I can't do that yet. That's annoying. I made that up. I can't put it on yet because I didn't highlight it. Doofus. So let's highlight it first.
Doofus.
With an incy wincy bit of white scar. Just a smidge.
White scar.
Yeah, purely and simply. Yeah, a little bit. On there. Not a lot.
Just the one, Mrs. Wembley.
Yeah, most of it will come off.
Nobody ever gets that reference apart from you.
Yeah, just the one. Yeah.
Right, now I've painted that little...
sung by Dennis Walkman.
Write a theme tune, sing the theme tune. Right, I've painted that bit of the engine block, the whatever it is, red. And it will be weathered down to look more dirty and grimy. But let me show you what happens when I put the actual cover on. Great, isn't it? You'll never see any of that, but I'll still give it the full weathering treatment and oil streaks. I'll put fuel stains on it, and we'll use the shiny oil stains and things on that engine block, because I know it's there. It is the order of things.
That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you know it's there.
Right, so I've got the tyres done. I've got the tracks based in a random grey colour. Roughly, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've got the weird nonsense going on. I need to put a little wash of white on there, don't I? Little wash of white. Bring back that
We do it in the chat. Let's have a looky low. Ooh. Marcy says I treat all my brushes the same. How are the god hands brushing holding up, Cole? They really are coming along well, Marcy. I mean, This little one here, I've pretty much used for the bulk of this, and yeah, I'm really impressed with them, to be honest with you. I didn't think I would be. I just thought...
Keeping in mind what you do to brushes.
Yeah, I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, I just thought, not knowing the brand, I've just thought it was a lot of fuss over nothing. But having actually sat and used them, yeah, I am impressed with them, to be honest. I'll let you finish because you're itching to say something, so carry on.
No, I'm done. No, I was just saying.
Because you are the goddamn brush expert, so...
No, I was just going to say the fact they're still going strong after you've actually had them in your hands.
Yeah, because I know I break everything, but yeah.
You like to destroy your brushes, don't you?
I certainly do, because I'm not as brush savvy as you. I'm not a brush guru. I'm just a Festa. So
I'm not a brush guru.
There you go.
But it's not just flim-flam. We're not just saying that, because people could think, well, yeah, e-models and it's like you have to say.
This isn't an e-model stream at the end of the day, so I'm not obligated.
Really do like them.
Carry on.
No, I was just saying, we really do like them.
Yeah, I'll get it out in a minute, the words. Yeah, this isn't an e-model stream. I'm under no obligation. So at the end of the day, they do what they said on the tin. And yeah, yeah, I'm thoroughly getting on with them, Marcy, in answer to your question, darling.
Yeah, they just are that good.
So, would I buy them myself? Yes, I would, actually. And I'm not just saying that. I actually would, yeah. I never bought nippers in the past because I just couldn't afford them. Yeah. So luckily they sent me some to review, and yeah, I get it.
It's one of those things. Is you kind of have to get hands on with them to actually realise it's not just hype. They are that good.
Yeah.
So I added a little bit of white wash to those exhausts just to fade it a little bit. Probably a bit too much. So it's not just speckles that I painted. It's like a little fade as well.
Absolutely. Just want to get some of these base colours on, and then I can really blend them in at a later stage.
I've got to sit here like Pithy on a rock for 5 minutes while it dries. Thinking about picking up the tiny brushes to try them myself, says Muse. Yeah, absolutely. They are really, really
they're
good.
worth it. I'll tell you another one I do swear by, Marcy, and that's the little dry brushes. They are absolutely brilliant. Absolutely a godsend. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. I like that.
They really are spectacular. There you go. They've got dry brush there. I mean, look at this one. Tinsy Wincy Ickle dry brush. But that is so useful. It really is a brush that size.
Yeah, if you're working on tiny... or you're trying to do like panel shading, but you've got really tiny panels, it's perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, I must admit, they have all been put to good use.
Good for dry brushing on figures as well, because they're so small. Perfect for that.
Well, I'm going to be using them on my Lagafer of Vikings, my Viking Shield Maiden sculpt.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to come in handy for that. So, yeah, they'll be getting a run out on her.
You know where else they'll be good?
Yeah.
On your 1/16th tank dudes. They'll be big enough to benefit from them brushes.
So...
cool.
They'll be coming into their own.
Edward Leonard says, belly is large steak, onion and jalapeno pizza. Steak on a pizza? Why can't we have steak on pizzas over here? God damn it.
Because we're not as good as the Americans. We don't do all of this exotic stuff. It's like our barbecues are nothing like a Texan barbecue, are they? I mean, come on.
Oh, God, yeah. No, nobody's barbecue's like a Texan barbecue. Bench, I'm starting a vignette of the crashed escape pod and C-3PO and R2-D2.
Oh, nice one.
For some reason, when I first read that, I thought it said Great Escape. I don't know why. Thin dry brush is something I would defo use. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Brilliant little brush.
Yeah, we're not blowing smoke. We really do just like those brushes. They are really good brushes.
And like I say, this is a Friday frolic. It's you know, I'm under no obligation on these shows for 3 models. So
No.
this isn't work for me. This is, you know,
Nonsense. This is just fun and nonsense, isn't it?
yeah, it's just my own content. But yeah, they are good.
Beat the devil out of it.
I mean, this little brush has been pretty much used and abused all night long, and it's. And the same with their
Still going
sanders.
strong.
Their sanders, I love them. I love the fact you can get in all the crooks and nannies with them. And yeah.
Now I can actually add testament to that, because Colin tells me that same thing just off air when we're just talking. So I know he loves them, because he's like, these are brilliant. There's he gets all excited about them and off air. So.
Yeah. And this little Harlequin mask has been shaded with a bit of Known oil as a 50-50 mix with a bit of Dragon's Off nightshade. Yeah. Just to give it a slightly blue tinge.
Ooh, I do like Dragon Off Nightshade. It's a very nice shade.
Yeah,
I've not used it very often.
Yeah. I'm not going mad with it, but I just want it to pull in the eyes and the mouth a little bit, just to give it a look that there's a colour there, but you're not quite sure what colour.
Yeah. You want to toy with people's perceptions, is what you're saying. Oh, Ambassador, you do treat us.
Absolutely.
You spoil us.
Just got to go around that mask to lose a bit of that. Yeah, carry on, mate. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Right, I'm waiting for that to dry.
There you
Do
go.
anything else while I'm waiting for that to dry. Curses.
Happy days. Robert is one's uncle. So we got a bit of blue on there, so we've got to let his arm dry.
And Fanula is one's auntie.
Absolutely.
Fanulina.
Get me foot up under there to stop that twitching like a good one. There you go.
Quintus Varus, where are my eagles?
Last time I let my foot twitch like that, when I had my keyboard down the side, I typed all kinds of weird symbols in the chat. Remember that? It was like, yeah. Dude, what did you just put that in the chat for?
Just blame it on a cat that nobody knows you haven't got.
Yeah, it was like, oh, really?
That'll be the cat again, obviously.
I want to go in there. Don't want anything to go in them yet, because I've got to do my gems, haven't I? Did I blend that underneath? I started.
Blend.
That was what I was going to do. Put that in there. I've got to put another bit of gold on there.
Yeah.
All right, let's
really meant that so far.
pull that out underneath there.
I'm very proud of you.
Underneath
You're doing
there.
really well.
Oh, cheers, mate. You know, glad I finally fulfilled living up to your standards, mate, because, you know,
Yeah.
taken
You got there in the
many years, isn't it?
You live up to my low now. You know, I think it looks fantastic because,
Dark to
like
light.
we were saying last week, you know, I when you explained your thinking to the colour and stuff and how you got to it, and I'm like, I wouldn't have even figured that out remotely.
Just out off my finger. I'm even. It's just
Watching you while mine dries.
no, that's all right, mate. There you go. Nice and light on the tip.
Panzer says, "Okay, folks, time for me to get back to work. Take care, all. Take care, Panzer. Thanks
Take
for coming
care,
in."
Panzer, mate. There you go. So that's
Right, while he's
Right.
busy doing that,
then I'll put a bit
I
of
shall pimp.
darker. Go on, sorry, mate.
I was going to say, while you're doing that and you're doing the thinking, I'll do some pimping for you. Don't forget, folks, if you want to help keep this channel alive and make it possible for Festa to keep doing these kind of streams and content, stuff like that, because he loves to do this, you can support the channel, obviously, by liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell. But if you want to be more direct with your support, you can become a patron or a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or if you don't want to go through
Festa of
Patreon,
goodness.
you can press the join button underneath any of the videos that he's puts up or his live streams and become a channel member and support him that way. Either way, you're helping to keep the channel alive. You help him to keep in kits and equipment so he can keep doing streaming, and you're just massively helping him out.
Yeah.
So please do consider helping him out by becoming a patron or a channel member.
It all
Apart
helps.
from that, Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And if money's tight right now, then one of the best things you can do, not that YouTube gives you much choice, is actually sit through the adverts.
Yes.
Because it really helps his channel out. But then again, YouTube doesn't give you a choice at the moment, so you have to sit
It is massively appreciated because I am mindful that pennies are tight for folks. And if you're intrigued how I'm doing this, on one side I've got the light colour, on the other side I've got the dark. I just flip from side to side, just in case you're wondering how I've been doing it. That's my little secret. And do you know where I picked that up from?
Friends.
No.
No?
No.
Duncan?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross? Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Purely and simply, when he did his rocks, he used to have the light colour on one side, the dark on the other. And used to flip the brush round, didn't he, to do the shading. And then if you get it in the right spot in the middle, you pick up a bit of both colours, light that side, dark the other, and it'll just give you your blend.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
Nice
Comes in handy if you've not got a double-ended brush.
Absolutely. A bit of water in there.
What colour should an engine bay be? The actual engine bay inside, not the engine, but the actual engine bay. Green, white.
In real life armour, it would be cream white, but on that, I would do, like you do on your aircraft, where you have that green, very light green paint on it.
I know what was it called? I forgot what it's called now.
I'd go for that myself.
Okay, that might work. I'm trying to think what's it called. It's not sodium nitrate. It's I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Zinc chromate. That's it.
Zinc chromate. Would a War Boss green or
I've got some Elysium green.
Elysium green might work.
That's what I've actually just picked up.
Damn, I've done it again, didn't I?
That's what you just. Because I looked at War Boss, because the funny thing is, right?
Yeah.
I picked that up and I thought, no, it's a bit too green, that War Boss green, so I'll go for Elysian green instead. And you just did exactly the same thing before I opened my mouth. Does this mean we're married now or something?
We're finishing each other's sentences, mate.
Yeah, no.
I'm really getting quite worried. It's a bit too bright there, Cole. Don't want too bright, do we? So let's knock that back a bit.
In that case, I better paint the inside of the turret hatch the same colour.
Don't go too far with it. Let's knock that back a bit.
Muse is not sure if she's more tired or hungry. That's a real dilemma. I would always assume it's more hungry.
Yeah.
Because you can eat, you can get rid of hunger by eating, but you can't get rid of tiredness by eating.
Yeah, I'd go with that, Muse. Yeah. You know what the solution is? More coffee.
Food. Yeah. Because that's the thing, right? If you're sleepy, the only solution is sleep, and that's boring. If you're hungry, the solution is food. So just assume it's hungry and go for food. It's the best solution.
Just want to bring that down and then just take that off.
The answer is always unspecified meat products.
Yeah. Yeah, if in doubt, get your unspecified meat products here. Three for £1.
The more unspecified, the better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody's not played it yet, I can recommend that new RoboCop game, your RoboCop Rogue City. Just keep in mind it's a AA game, so it's shonky and a bit weird. It's not exactly... Yeah, it's like it's a B movie game. It's not a AAA movie. It's a B movie.
Yeah.
It's made by a team of like 3 dudes and a budget of about 45 quid. But it's so lovingly done, true to the subject, that you gotta play it.
Yeah. Marcy says the tiny dry brush is something you should use. Yeah, they've even got that one, Marcy, which is a nice size dry brush as well, love.
Colin's always ready for a nice size.
Yeah, so yeah, I must admit I have been mightily impressed with them. They've also got a rather splendid set of filbert brushes.
Filbert?
So yeah.
I like a nice filbert.
I've become a convert, I must admit. And their little pin vice. Oh, I love the little pin vice. Oh, that is the dogs, mate. Absolutely
I haven't had a chance to use that yet.
And obviously, when I'm not doing lives, when I'm actually doing builds on my own, I do use the, what's his name? The anti-pingage box, my little clear God hands box. But,
you like that, don't you?
Yeah, I don't use it on the live so much because obviously you'd have a plastic box with a magnifier. You might not quite pick up what I'm doing. So, but when I was sat doing my tank tracks, that's what I was doing my tracks in because prevents all of the pingage.
Do your tracks in.
I see what you did there.
Do you see what I did there?
I did. I'm so proud of you, you know. So we got that.
Smack my tracks up.
Do that in a minute. I've got to shade my guns, haven't I? So let's pop that next to the brush. Get rid of that there for a minute. Cool. So we've got to shade all of them. We've got to shade underneath there. So we'll do that in a minute.
Don't go out. If you ain't shaded, your guns.
Yeah.
What?
Don't need them to.
That was terrible. I apologise to everybody who lives in the south.
I'm wrong with that.
Except Colin, because I like to watch him suffer when I try and do a London accent.
Yeah, but you are slowly earning your mock-knee big girl pants.
Am I? Oh, what big parachute pants.
Yeah, I am mightily proud of you.
I need to spend time talking to my nephews more. Then I'll have a proper Essex accent.
Oh, yeah, you'd be well away then, mate.
I tell you what's really scary, like 2 weeks ago, my nephews were like, they'd come round and they'd play on the Xbox and they'd fight over nonsense at each other and they'd just argue all the time. And they were like 5 years old. My brother turned up last week and said, yeah, they're all at university now. I'm like, oh, Christ. I'm like, oh, God, they're all old. I'm all old now because my nephews are all, like you said, they've not quite learned to drive.
My nephew's 40.
Oof.
And I'm like, damn, I can remember the day he was born. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Really?
When my brother turned up last week and he was coming down, I said, do you want me to pick anything up from Tesco's? I said, yeah, just get us some bits for ham sandwiches because, you know, well, Mum's quite picky, so we'll just give her some ham sandwiches. She'll eat those. So he turns up with 6 bags of shopping.
Yeah.
And it's all like student food, pot noodles and bagels and stuff. And he said, I'm really sorry, but I've been buying shopping for my 2 sons who are like just students and therefore I've got no concept of what actual shopping is anymore. So I brought you a load of pot noodles and stuff. Sorry. I said, no, don't. I'm not complaining.
Absolutely, mate.
It's not a problem. Don't worry.
No point in complaining. Like what we got, Corvus Black. Don't need that. Yes, I do.
That's a good off black. That good almost black.
Yeah.
So check your chat, buddy.
Yeah. Scale Model Muse. $10, she says, Cole, get another brush shape. Yeah, I put them on my website the other day for Jeff Light, and I meant to have ordered one, but yeah, for those that know me well, look how scuzzy that is.
Ew. See, I force myself when I finish cleaning the brushes, I get some tissue and clean off the surface.
I don't, because I deliberately leave that because I know how much that annoys you.
The little OCD's going.
Yeah, but you can tell where my brush has been because there's a couple of white bits. But yeah, it is minging. But I want to get as much use out of it. I've got an inner determination to run the pot out. But it is Scuzzy McScuzzville. It really is. I would say I'm ashamed of it, but yeah.
No. You do need to wait till you've got like one chunk of brush soap just whizzing round in the bottom of the pot.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're really just chasing that rather than actually cleaning your brushes.
Yeah. Shall I? Yeah. Mechanica Standard Grey, I think will work on there.
Mechanica Standard Grey, you say? Excellent.
Do I want that
That's a
bright?
good green colour for the engine bay.
Well, that might be a bit bright. So,
I shall duplicate that on the turret.
That's a nice colour. So let's... Oh, could edge highlight it with that, couldn't I? So it's for the Harlequin. That's
zinc chromate. Do. I'll have to dry brush this back when I put a wash on it to make it a bit lighter in most areas, but it's that kind of zinc chromate colour that I'm looking for.
Okay, I'm happy now. Underneath the Edward Leonard's belly is a large steak, onion and jalapenos even pizza. Bench, I'm starting a vignette even, of a crashed skateboard and a C3PO on R2-D2. Marcy says, I abuse nippers, so I won't be getting those, but brushes, yes. Yeah, I have my Mr. Robbies that I use for getting stuff off the sprues. And then I use me god hands for all the cleanup. And I must admit, Marcy, I have found them really, really useful for getting them tits off the side of the tracks, you know, the nubbingkins. Don't cut your finger with them, Cole, because, yeah. But,
oh, yeah, they can nip them nippers.
Yeah, it's funny, my other go-to tool at the moment has been me saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that saw's been out a bit this week, so, yeah.
I've got the red ones as well, but I find myself now having a moral dilemma when I've got to take something off the sprue. It's like, do I use the red ones or do I use my Mr. Hobby ones?
I haven't got the red ones, but I got the bending pliers because, as you know, I make all my own door hinges and things like that.
Yeah,
and
I thought you might get some of them.
I thought, yeah, they'll come in really handy for that. So. That and the spin drills. I haven't done the video for them yet, but I'm going to be doing the video with the spin drills. Any of you that do Games Workshop stuff, you'll find them spin drills brilliant for doing the gun barrels. So I'll go through that. I've got some greebles all lined up, and I'll film that during the week because I've got a little pile of stuff that I need to film for E-models.
The spin drills, they're the ones that leave the flat bottom, aren't they?
Yeah. You drill your hole, and as you know, with a drill bit, it's like a V shape on the end of it.
Yeah, this is flat, isn't it?
These spin drills have a spike in the middle of them, which I must admit comes in really handy for lining up the hole to drill in your gun with. Just saying. So you'll see that in the video. But what it does is you spin it, and instead of having a tapered end on the end, it leaves a perfectly flat end. So it machines out the V and gives you a nice straight.
It's like a chisel blade with a point, isn't it? So it can.
And they're an absolute simple idea.
I remember looking at those and like thinking, oh, they would be good for gun barrels, but then I've not had a chance to use one yet.
Yeah, and I simple but effective idea. And so between them and my little baby pin vise, which lives suitably in the drawer there, that seems to have stuck shut. Don't know why. Oh yes, because I know why. I spilt a bottle of extra thin the other day, and I need to run my knife down that drawer. But in there is my little what's his name?
No.
I'll get him sniggering. He always laughs at someone else's misfortune until it's him, doesn't he?
I didn't snigger. I just sniggered.
So so it's in there. I'm going to see whether I can actually cut the drawer open, but. As you can see, it's
better than Ted when he superglued his superglue to the bench. So
I had a twitchy accident in here the other day, and very many dagnammits may have ensued. And H come out, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. I just picked up my bottle. I thought I had screwed the lid down, but I hadn't. So of course I picked it up, and the momentum of doing that, it just flew all over." So I ended up minus a complete bottle of extra thin. But.
Oh, that is the worst thing when you do that and you pick something up, assuming it's closed and it's not, but you pick it up with speed. Or, do you know what's worse? And I hate when I do this. I do it every now and then. You pick up a cup of tea or coffee or something with a liquid in it, and you think it's full.
Yeah.
So you pick it up with full force, but it's actually half full, and you basically just throw it across the room.
Yeah. I've done it with my sip cups that I have. Where, I think, there's half a brew in there where I've put the lid on and I swig it only to find, that it's still full. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the word. That's pretty bad.
That's my little ickle drill that Pete was fascinated by when I was using it.
Makes your hands look even more massive.
But, yeah, that is an absolute godsend for all the detailed drilling because, and I do like that.
Is that drill really small or are Colin's hands really massive? Yes.
So to keep Pete occupied, I've been sending pictures of this is me holding extra thin. Yes, it is a big hand. Yeah. He's massively, massively fascinated by the size of my hands. It's quite funny, isn't it?
Well, you know what they say about my man with big hands?
Pete is very easily pleased, folks. He really is.
He's like a puppy.
Yeah. It is funny. So, yeah.
The best thing with Pete, mate, is when he comes up with an idea.
Yeah, normally at about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning, he'd be like, what if we do this? And it's normally when Pete comes up with an idea, it means it's giving you work to do, which is fine, you know. It's us that have to do it. But we've all learned now what we do. We say, oh, yeah, it's a great idea, Pete, that's really good. And then we basically forget about it.
Yeah.
And the simple rule of thumb is, if he comes back in 2 weeks and mentions it again, then you're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
He hardly ever remembers it he said the night before, and he hardly ever comes back and carries on with it. So you can just ignore it when he first says it. What about if we do this, this, and this? Yeah, we could do that. Okay, let me know when you want me to do it. And then he never does.
Well, there have been times where we've gone ahead and done the thing, and then he goes, what did you do that for then? That's what you asked me about 2 weeks ago. Oh, don't worry about that. I normally forget. Yeah, we made a mental point of that, all of us, and it was like, yeah.
Well, we used to get like quite nervous because he'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna have to do this and this." He's come with the idea, and we're gonna have to do this work and that work, and oh no, and it's like, or you could just pretend he never said it, and in most cases he'll never have to do it because he gets a great idea and then he has a different great idea and then he's instantly forgotten the first one.
Oh yeah, he's very excitable, but in a nice way.
Yeah, we love him dearly.
But he is quite comical when he's like that. We'll message each other going, I've just been Skyped by Pete.
Yeah, I've been peated.
Dear. Normally the time of night, you sit there and think, yeah, he's been in the wine cabinet.
Yeah. Mrs. Pete mate's away and he's got access to the drinks cabinet again, hasn't he?
We wouldn't have him any other way, to be honest with you. It is funny.
It's the way he is that made E-Models a success.
Yeah. Yeah. Bless him. He's eccentric, isn't he? That's a polite way of putting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've got bits of the... I'm not going to paint the figure in the turret, but inside the turret, I've got little bits of structure that's the guy sitting in, so little bits of control panels and stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm just painting grey, and I'll get a black wash. But I've also got the bottom of the turret, because I filled it in and glued him in place.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to have to do is paint the base of the turret there. I'm going to paint it with black ink.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because you could just paint it with black paint, but I've found that by using black ink, it's a lot more of a dense black than paint.
Yes.
So when you do have, like, say, a turret and there's a guy in there, you don't want to see the dude just suddenly stop because that looks really stupid. A black ink it's not shiny and it's completely like black, and it just stops it and makes it look like there's depths there that you can't see.
Yeah.
And sometimes what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of a black dry brush from the base of the figure up from the black flat bit, just to make him fade out as if he's, going into shadow. I haven't really got space to do that on here because it's a bit too small, but I'll certainly do black ink for the plastic card that's the base.
That sounds a little idea, mate.
Yeah, well, I kind of did it on one because I was like, I did one and painted black, and all you could see was like the shape, and there's like, it just looks like a bit of plastic painted black. When I did black ink, it was just black. And I had it was Deathcore Creed guys, so I just dry brushed black from the bottom of their trench coats where the bottom of the figure was up a little bit, and it just looked like the shirt. It obviously wasn't, it didn't look realistic, but it was like, it kind of says they're fading into the black a little bit. So I'll probably try it a bit with this dude, but for now, I shall get some black ink. Where is my ink? There's my ink.
Where's my ink?
It's got a little nipple.
Oh, yeah. He said nipple.
Nipple. Ooh. But I won't do it right now because I've got to let that green paint dry for a minute. So I've painted the interior walls of that cupola green, and I've painted the bit of greebling in there grey.
Nice, son. Right, let's get in there and
a bit of that. In fact, I might not do the black yet because I'll need to dry brush that green, and that'll just mess the black up. So why don't I not actually do that?
What do we reckon?
That would be a better idea to not do that.
Decisions.
But I do find if you want a real black, just get some proper artists India ink.
Oh yeah, well, it's a treat, mate. I've got a load of bottles of the F&M ink or whatever it's. Yeah.
Yeah, what's mine? Mine is Dr. Martin's Black Star.
Purely
I'll make sure it's
because I use them to make up pin washes and stuff like that.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, make shades out of it. Make sure it's waterproof blacking, enduring though, because obviously if it's not, if you put anything over it, it'll just everywhere. So.
Of course I did, dear. Thanks for that.
No, I'm not saying to you. I'm saying to the viewer, not to you.
Yeah.
I know you know that.
Yeah.
I'm saying to our illustrious viewers who may not realise that.
Yeah.
That's not
Absolutely.
End.
He said end.
And I do hate it when you end up with like one extra plastic tube for your brushes that you haven't got a brush to put in it. And you're like,
Oh, yeah. You sit there and you're like,
Yeah,
where did that come from?
I had a special moment today. You'd be proud.
You made a special moment, you were. All right, so
I was attaching the suspension to the front wheel of that GT40. And I put the suspension, I put the wishbone arms on, top and bottom.
Yeah.
And then I had to do something. I took the wheel back off again because I had to adjust something. So I took it all off and put the thing down the side. And then I'm like, where's that wishbone arm gone?
Yeah.
And I looked at the wheel and it wasn't on the wheel. So I'm like, it's literally just fallen off the wheel, but where's it gone? It's just fallen here and now it's vanished.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's just like that. So I spent half an hour checking the carpet. I went through the bag of rubbish. I looked at the same thing 6 times in a row, thinking, come on, look, it's not inside the wheel. It's not inside the wheel. Spent half an hour cursing and swearing because it would have ended the entire artwork if I'd lost that bit. It was like, forget it. Half an hour later, I looked over at the big chunk of car on the thing, and it was still screwed to the wishbone. I'm like, because I was trying to. I had one. I said I need 2, and I've only got 1. Where's the other one? But it was still screwed to the body. I'm like, oh God's sake!
How did you feel?
I felt. Let's just You
felt rather silly, didn't you?
I said words in my brain.
Yeah, were they them special words? Yeah.
They were special, not Sunday night words. They were certainly special words. They were words that you wouldn't want to get out if you were talking to a vicar. Change my paper this week as well in my very special
wet palette, because that's a bit scuzzy McScuzzville, but
scuzzularity.
All the time I'm doing the purples, I'm going to be leaving it in there. Periscope green, let's have a bit of that. It is.
That's a nice colour, that periscope green. Is that the ammo stuff? The ammo stuff?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Let's just get me vibrating thing out.
It's easy. Get out of bed.
I shall ring her in a sec.
That's all I think now when I hear that. Blimey, them fruit flies are getting big in your studio there.
Yeah, they're massive, aren't they, mate? I'm just going to mute for a sec to ring the Doris up, mate.
All right. Yes, so this green may look a bit weird right now, but I'm trying to go for that kind of zinc chromate look that you get on old aircraft. And it's a chemical, not a paint, but when I've done I'll do like a green wash over it, or maybe I'll certiate and then I'll dry brush the colour back over, and then I'll do light dry brushing, so it'll be a lot lighter when it's finished. And it's not an accurate zinc chromate, but it's just to give the effect. I know tanks don't normally have that. They have like the cream vice, that kind of off-white colour in the real world. But I like the zinc chromate look. Let's have a look. Alcohol-based ink. Use alcohol, says Scale Model Muse. Don't use ink brushes for anything but ink. Yeah, don't use... Yeah, have separate ink brushes, because ink is such a dense pigment. It's just, yeah. Lamp black is better, Foxy. It won't stain or ruin the brush. Well, I don't use particularly good brushes with inks anyway, because I'm really just filling in a shape or something. If I'm doing like a Borderlands paint job, I'm using a fine brush for that. Like, because I'm doing little scritches and scratches and cross-hatching and stuff like that. So I'm literally drawing on the model. But I make sure that brush never gets used for anything else. It usually doesn't survive the process anyway. There is water-based inks also, says Edward to Jeff. Jeff says, what do you use to clean ink from a paintbrush? Oh, that's why you says, yes, alcohol. use it for alcohol-based inks and water-based inks, whatever you normally clean your brush with. But yes, it will be permanently containing gink in the bristles. So yeah, just if you're going to use ink, just keep those brushes for inks, basically. It's a bit like, you know, when you get like a really bright red colour, like Mephiston red, and it takes you like half an hour to clean the brush out, so there's no red coming off on the brush.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that, but inks are a million times worse.
That's brutal, isn't it, that?
Yeah. Or getting any kind of yellow paint out of your airbrush. It's like, I've cleaned this 17 times now and I'm still getting yellow colour.
Jeff says I never mix brushes, different mediums. No, I have my acrylic brushes and I have my lacquer paint brushes, different brushes. And I have a few brushes that I use just for metallics because...
Yeah. I tend to... I use my good, nice brushes just for acrylic, water-based acrylics. If I'm doing any enamel stuff like weathering, it's only for weathering anyway, so I just use crappy brushes for those because I don't need precision. If I was doing any precise enamel work or anything like that, then yeah, I'd have to just get some separate brushes. I did the crack and wake.
Let that layer dry, and then I should go back up over that with a bit of green again, Periscope green. Well, actually, I think that might work on the tip of that as well, just to give that a little bit of... Yeah, that works true.
Did you get shouted at? No.
No, because I'm still being good, mate.
Yeah, it's making me suspicious.
I am so nervous about it.
Yeah. It's worse than being told to go and wait outside the headmaster's office.
I think Marcy was right when she said, I think she's lulling you to a false sense of security, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're far wrong, Marcy, but I've never been so nervous in my adult life, mate. It's like...
Something is afoot.
Yeah, this is now like day 3 that I've been good. I've never been good for 3 days in a row in my life.
Day 3 in the Big Brother house. Festa's terrified because he doesn't know why he's not in trouble.
Festa's come to the diary room. Yeah. I don't know what that accent was. I won't do that again.
Yeah, it sounded more kind of Yorkshire, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it was a bit lame, mate, wasn't it?
That's right, it was a good Yorkshire accent. Terrible Geordie accent, like. Wait, eh?
Now you know why I don't do accents, mate.
I don't know. You're getting good at the. Do you like that? What's his name?
Fred Dibner.
Fred Fred Dibner. That's the one. I can't remember his name there for a minute.
You're like that.
You knew the moment I went. You knew what I was going to say.
Yeah, you're like
you knew what I was talking about.
I'm like Ted, he does 50 Shades of Barra, and I do 50 Shades of London. It's like, yeah.
Right, I shall go and get myself some clean water and clean my brushes, I think.
Yeah, Festa does Shakespeare. But let's pull your...
To be or not to be.
Yeah, I'll give him a dry
I knew him well. Horatio. Look at the teeth on that.
Yeah. An horse, my kingdom for an horse. Stuff your horse. Yeah.
Now is the winter. I can't do it. Mine just sounds too Manchester. My glorious summer by this sun. I sound like an orc.
Arnold, that normally gets you out.
I sound like an orc. My glorious summer by this son of York.
I'd be a good orc. Yeah,
you are. I mean, you would be. You are one. Right, I'm just going to get some water.
Yeah, no worries. I heard you the first time, dear. He's just going to go and get some water, folks. Because the water in the Yorker don't quite taste like what it ought to. What's going on in the chat? Jeff Light says, I'll have to check. Off the top of my head, I didn't have a clue of their carriers, water or spirit. I don't know if... Didn't know ink could be spirit-based. Thanks, guys. Not a problem, mate. Edward says, comparable by looks to my artist Opus. I've not used artist Opus, mate. I've heard good things about them. Yeah,
I've not used theirs.
I can remember when I was thinking of getting what I would call premium brushes, I was chatting to Cy Reynolds, and I had the choice between artist Opus Broken Toads. Being that he's a Golden Demon winner, he says Broken Toads. I'm going to listen to the bloke, you know.
Yeah, I had the same conversation, and I got Broken Toads.
Because he's won Golden Demons, so if anyone's going to know, it's going to be that bloke. So I took his word. So I'm not dissing Artist Opus, not at all. It's just I haven't used them.
Yep. No, I've never tried them.
So, and being that I've got a set of toads, I didn't see the point in buying yet another set of brushes. So
I did find it amusing when Peachy was interviewing on their podcast guy that's worked at Games Workshop for like 30 years. He's left now, but he was in charge of a lot of like the product designer stuff.
Yeah.
And he was saying, the one thing he said was, first of all, he says, you know, when people compare like the Artificer layer brush to a Series 7, they don't realise that the Artificer layer brush is actually just a Series 7.
Oh, yes, it's got
a different name on it.
It's got a different name on it. Same paintbrush.
He said, but the funny thing is, when we got our brushes made, you quickly realise that there's actually only about 3 places in the UK that actually make paintbrushes, and for most of Europe.
Yeah.
So no matter who you buy your brushes from, they're probably made by the same little old ladies.
Yeah.
Hand making them. He said, so there's not really that much between all the top end brushes.
Having worked in manufacturing years and years ago, I can vouch for that, because you would have something that you was making for a Ma and Pa kettle shop or something for an established brand outlet. It would be the same product, but it would be double the price.
Yeah, like Heinz beans and, you know, Sainsbury's own brand beans, exactly the same beans.
Yes.
So
you haven't got a field out there with Heinz products in it. It's all the same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he said so. He was saying basically, unless this company that does brushes, whoever they are, makes their own brushes themselves, it's probably the same people making them.
I used to manufacture detailing products when I first started working indoors, and there were well-known brands of high-end polishes and things like that. And it was just the same as the cheap El Cheapo stuff, you know.
Do some names, because I'll know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Simonez, Alfords, you know, all of them sort of brands, screen washes, polishes.
Yeah. So, the only one that's not kind of a relabel and is completely independent is Autoglim.
Autoglim's its own thing, mate. But anything that was from the Johnson's wax companies and things like that.
Yeah.
Glass cleaners. If it was Acme glass cleaner, it was just the same as the high-end glass cleaner, but about £3.50 cheaper a bottle.
Yeah, well, we when we started off with the detailing stuff, before we actually got into proper detailing, which we ended up doing, we actually started in retail and we were selling detailing products with a little bit of detailing on the side. And after a while, we decided, let's just make our own detailing products, because everybody else is doing it and they're all getting rich. So we just made a range of detailing products like shampoos. We made some, didn't make any wax, it was like shampoos, glass cleaners, things. And we basically, one of the guys just sat down, did some very basic research on how to make these things and the kind of chemicals you'd need. And we just made our own in-house detailing stuff.
Yeah.
Gave it the brand name Stjarna Gloss, which was Norwegian for stars or something, or Starry Sky or something like that. I can't remember. And pimped it with all the bragging that it's a high quality product, and people accepted it as really good. And it's like, but it's really cheap to make. It costs us like, to make a 5 litre bottle of like foaming jet wash shampoo cost us like £2.
Yeah.
With just some very basic ingredients, and yet it was competing against the big boys and it's like, yeah, you're just paying a lot of money for not a lot of these products.
Well, it's brand snobbery, isn't it? You're paying for the name.
Yeah. I mean, waxes are a bit different, because waxes, that's where you can have a lot of like investment of money in the products, and they can be quite expensive to make. So waxes is a bit different.
Yeah.
But for things like your shampoos and your foaming, I can't remember what they're called. Not shampoo. It wasn't. You put it in your pressure, in your jet wash, and you have a bottle like a resin. I can't remember what it's called now. It's been so many years. Yeah, a lot of things like that, the soaps and shampoos, they're just all the same.
Oh, yeah.
Screen wash is just
basically all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, screen wash is pretty much isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, pretty much.
IPA. Same with panel wash, it's just IPA. Panel cleaner. Yeah, it's IPA, pretty much.
Yeah, ammonia.
Yeah.
And a small, tiny colorant.
Yeah. But it was fascinating. Like we literally just got, went to some company and printed out a whole mess of, we designed some very simple labels, got them printed out for absolute bargain basement money, manually stuck them on the 5, we just bought a load of cheap, like, go online about 100 5-litre canisters for bargain basement prices, and it cost us very little, and they sat there, spent a day sticking labels on bottles. It cost us nothing, and yet we could sell it for like 30 quid for a 5-litre container of snow foam, that's what it's called.
It's a bit
snow
like
foam.
that. Festa's fluids, isn't it? Lamium medium stuff. It's sticky and it's medium. It's just like easy
Snow
enough
foam,
to make.
That's the
And it's like, works for me. Saves a small fortune. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong, if I'm filming for a company, I'll use the proper branded stuff, but the rest of the time I just make my own homebrew.
Scale Modelling is in, says, hello everyone. G'day, bro.
Hello, Oz. How you diddling, mate?
G'day, my friend. I'm going to shock you, Tony. I'll call you Tony then for some reason. Cole, can I shock you?
Yeah, 2 seconds. Let me turn back round, mate.
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, God.
Now, are you sitting? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
See that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you don't have to state the obvious, mate. I'm not thick.
No, I'm just a joke, dude.
I know, but yeah. I'm going to leave it as it is because I know it annoys you, dear.
It doesn't annoy me at all. It's just...
Yeah. I know, he has to point it out, but hey, it's my way. It works.
It was a joke.
I know it. Oh. I know it was Fox. God.
Right, did I do that brush? Yes, I think I cleaned that brush.
Gotta love him. Right, let's put that back there. Right, what have we got? We've got a bit of a shade. Go on. Let's put that on there.
Oops.
There you go. Carib crimson.
Edward Lenner says, no, not fluid talk.
Absolutely. Yeah, get your fluids here, mate. £3 for a pound.
Fluids for everyone.
Absolutely, mate.
Hey.
Right, we want... Did I? Yeah, I did that. So, yeah, that can go in there. What are we doing? 8 minutes. Yeah, we'll go for a bit longer, so...
Okay. Right, they're talking about brushes. Let's have a look. Edward says, Artify dry brush set, dry brushes.
Oh, right, yeah.
Not heard of them. Just got these and they are pretty nice for $22. He says, 5 sizes, hobby, small, fine detail paint brushes for tabletop and wargame miniatures.
Oh, nice one.
Comparable by looks to my artist Opus. They look similar, but I love my Opus brushes, says Muse.
Yeah, you're very fond of them. Didn't you get the Opus matte as well, Marcy? The textured dry brush matte thing or whatever. Sure, it's one of you that got that.
Edward says, for $22, Marcy, check it out seriously.
Yeah.
Edward says, I've loved mine too, but $150 comparison to $22.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what put me off is the price, mate. I just can't afford it.
Yep.
I already own a set of Toads and a set of God Hands. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the big difference with the expensive brushes is, it's the handmade portion of it. And
yeah,
if you actually watch someone making a paintbrush, it's such an involved process. And these are the best quality, fibres or, either synthetic fibres or hair or whatever. So when you actually watch someone make a paintbrush, you think,
oh, absolutely. I mean, I've got dry brush set over here. They're only the AP ones, but yeah. I love these dry brushes, I must admit. They really have proven. Yeah. Because I was sceptical at first, and I thought, I'll get them ones. They're a lot cheaper than the AO ones. And I just thought, well, if I get on with them, I'll get on with them. But, yeah, I do hear good things about Artist Opus, but just can't afford the product.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a bad brush. Well, I mean, there is. But a bad brush is one where you get it, and you can't even get the shaping wax off the bristle. You throw it away instantly. But
yeah. You want to see a bad brush? There's a bad brush. That's Fox's favourite brush. Look at that.
Sir, yes, sir. No, sir.
And that was used
out life like that.
once.
Yep.
That is the Citadel base brush, medium, and that was abused on the Lehman Russ. And yeah,
Absolutely.
I did say at the time, I will destroy my brushes because I am very heavy-handed.
You did, and you are, and you did.
And I didn't let him down. It was the look of the stain, wasn't it? He was like, dude,
Yeah.
I can't believe you've destroyed that. So I did warn you.
Right, it's not as much that. I had faith that you would destroy it, but not quite so fast.
Brutal, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, there's no really such thing as a bad brush. Like I said, I used these brushes today to paint the tracks. It was just rough and ready work over a rough surface, and they were fine.
Yeah.
They're like worth about £1 each. But
yeah,
obviously, dirt cheap brushes are just
Amazon
made
special.
dirt cheap. Yeah, Amazon special, yeah.
Yeah, I got a set
It's
of them.
like,
It's like, yeah.
well, these ones have actually got a wooden shaft, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Usually it's a plastic shaft, but
He said
I said
shaft.
I said shaft. But, you know, the difference is that one, you know, your artist opus brush is made by a little old lady who's literally making it by hand. And your £1 a brush Chinese brush is made in a factory like in 3 seconds.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We totally get it. We really do totally get the whole artist opus thing. Yeah, it's just...
But, you know, there's no such thing as a bad brush. But if you're buying expensive brushes, you just know that those are the brushes you use for the top end work. You know, you use it for your fine detail. You wouldn't use an expensive brush to paint a track.
No,
because it's like rubbing it on sandpaper, but you'd use it to paint your fine detailing and stuff like that. So I'd say for the rough stuff that you use cheap brushes for, Games Workshop brushes are probably about as expensive as I would go for any rough stuff.
yeah, they're the workhorse, aren't they? They're your bread and butter brushes, to be honest with you.
Your based brushes and stuff. Well, they're expensive compared to the crappy ones, but they're still...
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you get a pack of 10 brushes and it costs you £4 and they're rubbish, then keep them because you can use them for weathering. So it's all good.
Absolutely, mate. Totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I wish the army ones had better bristles, says Muse. Yeah, I mean, the thing I don't like about the army painter ones is, one, the name rubs off in about a day, so you can't tell which. I don't know which brush that is because it's...
Yeah, there's a few little QC issues with them, aren't there?
Yeah, but like, you know, it's I think it's the monster brush. It sort of held its point, sort of, but I've looked after it.
Yeah.
But apart from the big monster brush, the brushes don't really... The dry brushes are great, but they've ended up in my crappy dry brush section because they just
I
got
tend
battered.
to find with my AP ones, I clean them with a bit of masters and I leave a bit of it on the bristles and pull the point and store them that way. And then before I go to use them, I give them a clean again just to release tipper slightly. But that's the only way I've been able to get them to retain somewhat of a tip because...
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, they're fine detail brush. Like I said before, they just don't have a reservoir paint for me compared to the Broken Toads or the or even the Games Workshop ones. It's just, they're too thirsty, or not thirsty enough. Even they don't really hold. Like the Psycho brush, it's great, but it's so small it doesn't hold.
Yeah, it's about as much use as a tipped on fish, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Because it's like, it's better to have a fat brush with a very, very fine tip point than it is to have a very tiny tip.
Yeah.
And that's it, because it's not going to hold me paint. So.
That's what I like about the Toads, I must admit. Their reservoir, it really does hold a decent amount of paint.
Yeah.
I don't know about the opuses, because I haven't used them, but that's what I do like.
I haven't lost a Broken Toad yet to the crappy brush pot.
No, I'm amazed, actually. Mine are still intact, but the reason they're still intact is I've only used them for very, very delicate figure painting, and that's the key.
It's the Sunday best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're painting anyway. If you're like a master painter, miniature painter level, a lot of your painting is going to be done with glazes and thin colours anyway. So you're going to use a crappy brush for the base colouring and then lots of glaze works, like if you're doing lots of colour modulation stuff. So you're going to be using like your Series 7s and your expensive brushes because you're using almost pretty much water at that point.
Yeah.
So they're going for top-end professional brushes. But if you're painting like tanks and vehicles and stuff, you maybe don't need to depend so much on the expensive brushes. You can get quite happily by on the mid-range brushes because you're doing lots more. You're not doing lots of fine figure detail and things like that.
Yeah, the workhorse brushes tend to get used for all of that because.
Yeah, and I'll show you something if I've got it.
Oh, hey, steady, Neris.
Steady, Neris. What is this? This is a Dale Rowney System 3 Bright 10 brush.
Right.
It's for oil. It's for proper painting on a canvas painting. Oil or I think that was about 45 quid.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's very old, but I think that on its own was about 45 quid.
Oh,
because it's a professional artist brush. So when we sit here and we complain about a brush costing 12 quid, model making brushes are so dirt cheap compared to artist brushes, I tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Like you go into an art shop and look at proper art brushes, the prices are ridiculous.
Oh, mate, yeah, I've seen, 60, 70 quid paintbrushes in them sort of places.
Yeah, and, you think about it, that's a brush being used to paint oil on canvas. It's getting a hard life, but they're designed to be totally... So we've got it quite easy when it comes to brushes, really. But
I don't think we do too bad, really. Like I say, there are brands out there that we all cover.
Yeah. I mean, the professional brushes use the best hairs and furs and things like that, so...
I mean, I'll be brutally honest. I never even realised Godhand did brushes. I thought Godhand made a pair of nippers. That was it.
Yeah, I didn't until we actually got all that stuff. It's like, you mean they don't just do nippers?
Yeah, I just literally thought Godhand did nippers. The blue nippers, that was it.
Yeah.
And that's all I thought. But how wrong I was. That was what I wanted to do. Yeah. A pair of hair scope.
But that's the thing. I say it depends what you're painting. Like I say, if you're not a top end professional or very talented figure painter, you might not need all the very expensive brushes. Like if all you do, like I said, vehicles, you might get by on the cheaper ones. It's just different tools for different people and different budgets. There's always a choice.
I'm made of tools. I am a tool. I'm all of the tools.
You're made of tools.
I like being tools. Let's get my pad of cleanliness out because...
Evelina says, I don't mind spending the money because it's usually a good investment and because they last a long time, they give good results. Exactly.
That's the thing, Edward, isn't it? You don't mind investing in these things if they're going to prove their worth, but... Yeah. Like I say...
Well, that's the thing. I mean, brushes is one of those things where you can see why it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Like paints, not really. A lot of other stuff we use, not really. Why is this one more expensive? But,
I do like a good paint, though, I must admit, as you can tell. With the paint rack that's behind me, I do like a nice bit of paint because I like options. I don't like just having to stick to one brand because different brand paints work in different ways. Depends on what you're using them for, doesn't it? But are you happy now?
There we go. Good lad. I feel complete now.
Stops him nagging me, doesn't it?
Paints, you get crappy paints and good paints, and there's a price difference, but it's not quite so vast. You can kind of know anyway. But for things like brushes, you can tell the difference. You can see why one brush is more expensive than the other.
Oh, definitely agree with that because I'll be brutally honest, Godhands, I used to think people are paying an absolute shed load of money for a name. And I ain't going to get ripped off. And then once you start using them, you realise they are the Rolls Royce, aren't they? Let's be honest. Well, and that's what opened my eyes.
The thing that turned me around on like the Godhand stuff is I was always kind of happy paying more for quality, but when I found out that the blades on the SPM 120s are actually hand sharpened by a craftsman,
I'll set the samurai.
Literally he will sit there and he'll get the blade. His blade's manufactured, but then it's hand sharpened and balanced by a craftsman. Okay, that's going to take him a day's work, maybe, or a few hours or something. But that's somebody actually sitting there sharpening it. And then when I watched a whole load of videos of just Japanese craftsmen making stuff and how much stuff Japanese craftsmen making stuff goes for.
Yeah.
I watched a video the other day, right? And this guy, piece of wood, and he carved out of this piece of wood a dog. And it was rough as a badger's backside. It was literally, it's the kind of thing you carved at second year at secondary school when you did your first woodwork class. It was kind of pants.
Yeah.
$700.
Really?
Because it was made by a talented Japanese craftsman.
Yeah.
There's a cachet to that. So when you see that they've got this guy literally hand sharp, and this is why the blue nippers, the SPN 220s, they're always out of stock because they only make a limited run each time because they've only got so many dudes to sharpen these blades. Okay, now I don't mind paying like 40 quid for these cutters because they're actually, some guy spends hours and hours sharpening the blade. I can pay for that. Oh
yeah, they are a good thing. I mean, like I said, I've raved about this simple saw.
You're a simple saw.
But, it's flexible, but also it's got the backbone on it. So it's two saws in one for me, and I love that. To me, that simplicity of that is just what it's all about. I would never have put them down as making saws and things like that. I literally thought they made a nipper.
Yeah, but it's all about blades, though, isn't it?
Their sanders, I love their sanders. I keep going on about, and probably people are getting fed up with me. But the size of that is perfect because you can get in all the crooks and nannies. But they even do the sandpaper. I've got the sandpaper strips just in the pot over there, and I
love the fact they do the sandpaper with the sticky back, so you can wrap it round something and have a shaped sanding surface.
Exactly.
Like wrap it on the inside of a spoon or something.
Yeah, you can get your metal strips. Just like I say, peel it off, stick them to it. Boom, boom, boom. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Edward says, I use 4 or 5 size mini brushes and it's around $75, but I have only bought 2 sets and I'm still using my first set in 5 years. It's in the quality of keeping a point and the expensive ones win.
This is the thing. You get what you pay for, don't you, at the end of the day? I mean, to my left there, I've got my scuzzy pot of brushes, which is all of that lot.
Yeah.
And then over the way there, here's my good brushes, all my toads and all of that lot.
I've got my glass of scuzzy brushes.
Yeah, and then I've got my artist brushes that I use for figure painting in their little velvet sleeve over there. So, good, better, best, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, this is basically anything cheap I get off Amazon or old Games Workshop brushes that are they're a bit battered, or just wash brushes.
I mean, come on, right? I think I might... I've just spotted this one. I think I might have a contender. But what has to be the most useless paintbrush in the world?
Go on. Well, no, that would have a use. I can think of a use for that.
Yeah.
I can think of a use for that.
I use that for scratches.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like scratches on metallic surfaces.
Don't all face palm. This was actually a Tamiya modelling brush #1.
Once upon a time.
The history of this brush is it's the first modelling paintbrush I ever bought. And I can't throw it away. As much as that is about as much use as an handbrake on a canoe, I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. It's
I've got one of the brushes in here. Actually.
And I use that for the scratches on the Lehman rust. It's like,
maybe I've not got it in here. I've got a brush. It used to be, if you watch me paint, you'll see I use this brush all the time. This is my getting paint out of the pot and onto the wet palette brush.
Yeah.
Which is why it's got the tape all over it, so I know it's that crappy brush. And the funny thing is, right, it's a Citadel something or other brush. And all it's ever used for is getting paint out the pot.
On the palette.
And look at it. It's actually not in bad nick. It's not brilliant. I mean, if I tried to paint with it, I do use it occasionally for painting, but it's not in bad nick. It's just, it doesn't really hold a point. But before I started using this one, my official getting paint out of the pot brush was a brush that I bought in about 1983.
Yeah.
And it was about the same size, and it looked kind of like that. It looked about... So some brushes, and that was... I don't know what that brush was. It was just a brush. I've got it somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, my poor Citadel dry brush, I mean, look at it.
It looks like Blanca from Mortal Kombat or wherever it is.
Honestly, it's just like, That's,
who was the guy? Who was the Russian guy in the Rocky film?
Drago.
That's Drago, isn't it?
But, it's battered, and it's like, what's the point of it? But all I'll do on that, I'll trim the bristles off, I'll angle them, and it'll turn into a filbert. So it's got uses. But
there is no such thing as a not useful brush, because every brush can be used to put paint on. If it looks scruffy, it looks scruffy.
Whenever H has sat in it, she's looked over and gone, the state of them bloody brushes. I go, yeah, but that's the crap side. The good ones live over there. I've got this one, right? And it's from Simply Brush. I've no idea who Simply Brushes are, where this brush came from. I did inherit a lot of brushes when I bought the my old metal paint rack that I used to have, the little German transport case. I got that from someone that had loads of brushes in it. But this actually gets used for two things. One, it gets used for pigments. Oh, right, yeah.
Which, given the fact that it's used for sticking pigments on, and like, it's actually not in bad nick, because I do try and recover it with proper brush clean. So it's used for pigments along with one other brush what I can't find. And also, it's used for if I've got like a Lehman Rust turret, it sits on the end and I can spray it. Or if I've got a wheel that I need to spray. So
that's the job, isn't it?
I'm quite surprised it's still in that condition after being used for pigments all these years. But
it's function over form at the end of the day, isn't it? We all have them brushes that you look at in the pot and you think, I really need to just get rid of them. But,
never get rid of your brushes. Unless all the bristles fall out when it's absent. Even if it's got one bristle left, a Japanese craftsman will paint eyeballs with that bristle.
Yeah, but on one of them, I actually cut the ferrule off, shortened the handle a little bit, two-parted a magnet on it, and I use it as a pickup tool. Because why not? It's...
And there's one brush I've got that's never, ever, ever been used for paint, and that's that fan brush from another manufacturer, because that's my dusting brush.
I tend to, for my dusting brush, I use my lappy brush.
I mean, I don't know where I've had this for like 30 years. I don't even know where I got it from. It's just a generic, but it's dusted models on shelves for years. I've had it for 50 years. That
I used to have an old fingerprint brush that I used to use for the models. It's around somewhere.
Like that. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's around in one of these drawers somewhere. I will find it. This
also gets used to dust my PC out when I've got the Hoover one.
I've got my Master Blaster that I use for my computer, which is one of them bad boys, vacuum one side and a blower the other. So, that's what I tend to use for that, of which I've got that to do because I'm currently painting up the computer. So, Anyway, it's Art Mars free, so we need to let these wonderful, lovely, lovely people get on with their life. Yes. So we'll do the full screen goodness so that people can see what we've been up to. I've started basing the Harlequin. Yes, folks.
No.
Little bit on the guns with a little bit of edge highlight in a wash. I've just got to do some more details on the barrels. Same on that one. Just subtle. That's got a bit of periscope green on the tip there, just to give it a bit of difference. Same with that one, bit of dry brushing, bit of gold. You can't have too much gold. And then we've started with some edge highlighting and that on this bad boy. Ready for getting all of the details and diamonds and all of that.
A bit of all right, that, mate.
I started on the cockpit with some base colours. Got to go back in there and do the dash, which is on him. So he's got his little monitor on there, and then all the sides have got to be painted. Put him back there. And then obviously underneath I've started doing a bit of blending going on under there.
Nice. What kind of finish are you going to have it on at the end? A matte or a satin? Or
it's going to... I don't know whether to go for a satin mecha varnish or flat matte. I really don't know. So I don't know. What do you think? A satin or
I don't
a matte?
know, because it kind of looks nice having a slight shine on it, but especially if you did it as a satin, then did any light weathering, so that would be matte.
I mean, it's a bit glossy at the moment because obviously it's had multiple layers of the shade on there, which always give you a bit of a glossy finish. But I've got mecha satin varnish up there, the Vallejo stuff.
What would work with that one?
Yeah, so I've got no idea really. I don't think a gloss finish would look right, to be honest with you. So I think it needs either a satin or a matte. We'll know when we do it. If it's too shiny with a satin, I'll matte it right down. But I want the light to try to catch some of the lighter areas, if that makes sense.
Well, maybe do it in the satin, but then when you do any oil paint, whether you just leave that as the matte bit, so some bits are still satin, some are matte.
Absolutely, mate. I'm going to bug your full screen, mate, so that you can talk people through what you've been up to.
Not a lot for me to show. This night I have based the tracks in Mechanicus Standard Grey and also done the tyres on the wheels.
Nice.
The wheels will get a null oil wash to darken them down to look like rubber, and the tracks will get the rust washes to make it look more like rusty steel, hopefully. On the top, I've painted the red part of the engine there where the spark plug. I need to paint the spark plugs and stuff later. And I've started the greening of the interior of that little compartment, which, like I showed you before, when I put that on, will completely disappear. But I'll know it's there. And on the back, I've got a bit of an experiment going on.
Nice.
Because I've got these painted with the same Mechanicus Standard Grey, but then I've spattled on some whatever that white colour was, and I've done a bit of a wash of it to give it a gradation to the top. So hopefully, it might not even work. I've probably got it completely wrong, but this might look like mottled, corroded metal. So it's not the same as the tracks.
A bit like corroded, galvanised metal, yeah?
Yeah, that kind of thing. And you've got that kind of patchy effect. Hopefully, and it'll differentiate it as a different metal from the tracks, which will be more uniform. Yeah. And then I put a bit of gold trim on there because I was missing it.
Got to have a bit of gold on it, mate.
Yeah. And on the turret, I painted that spare track piece, the same Mechanicus Standard Grey, because that'll get the same treatment, but maybe a lighter shade of rust on that because it's not been used.
You're on a track piece.
Yeah. And then on the dude, I just painted the inside of that. I started the zinc chromate on the inside.
Yeah,
a little bit
that's
like grey,
yeah.
And I've not done the black yet on the inside.
That's looking mint, mate.
So that's that. Yeah, I need to get it done now so I can get it festered off and get on to the next thing.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I shall go back to mine at some point, but at the moment it's in an A4 box, out of sight, out of mind, so that I can fall back in love with it. Because I tend to find if I go more than 6 shows on something, I have to just pick something else up. Yeah. We did it with Stomper, didn't we? We pushed and pushed, and it was like...
Both got burnt out on that. Yeah. It's like we said at the start, it's like if I was just sitting down and doing this, I'd paint it in a week. Yeah. And I would never, ever get bored because I love painting Baneblades. I love it so much. It's just great fun. It's just silly fun. But when it's stretched out week over week over week, and I've only got a couple of hours each, it's like...
That's why I'm filming Insane Blade and Warlick, because... Yeah.
The part of you that just wants to get on and sit there and do it for another 4 hours can't do that. But I can reveal that I've asked James to order for me the next build after this on the E-Model streams, which I will actually start building while I'm doing some work on this on the streams. I'm going to be building and painting a Mortarion, who is the Primarch of the Death Guard.
There you go.
Primarch of Nurgle. I've got one myself. I'm not painting him yet, but I'll be doing that, and then that'll be more figure painting type stuff rather than vehicle painting. And that'll
be nice, mate. You'll enjoy that.
Well, it's good practice because I've got my own that I need to paint, and I'd rather try it out first on E-Models and then I know what to do.
Method to your madness. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. So I can afford to learn on that one.
Absolutely. Edward Leonard says, looking lovely, Cole. Thank you very much. As does, he says it's looking lovely, Fox. Oh, he says, don't do too many experiments. You don't know what you're doing, he says. Jeff Light says, thanks for another fantastic stream. We'll check which inks I have later, but many thanks for the advice, everyone. Take care and stay safe, he says. And everyone's saying no night to Jeff. Don't forget, folks, if there are things that you need adding to the store, let me know, and I'll add them to the website, Amazon store for you. Jeff asked me the other day to add some bits, so I've added them for him. So, yeah, this makes it a bit easier for you. And obviously, as an associate, I do get a little bit of commish for it, so it helps me out.
Yeah.
Marcy's saying later on, take care, Marcy. Like I said, massive thanks to everyone that's kept me and Fox company. Nice to have you back, Geezer. I did miss you Wednesday.
Yes.
So luckily you haven't been timed out much tonight, so you haven't had to go quiet, bless you.
Yes, it may be in the... We were talking about this before we went live, but it may be in the coming weeks. I have to pare back on the live streams a bit, but I don't know yet. Everything's up in the air, so things are getting a bit tricky at the minute. So so I shall do my best to still be around.
Yeah, fret not, mate. We'll be all right.
Yeah, but I know people will miss me if I'm not here. Cause
of course they will. They always miss your dulcet tones, mate, because...
And you know what we forgot tonight as well?
What's
£1
that?
for a shut-up, £1 for a minute. We forgot, didn't we?
That's what I said just now. You wasn't paying attention, was you?
No.
Yeah, I said you haven't been paid. You haven't been paid to keep quiet tonight much, dear, have you? So you've been all right.
I actually missed you saying that.
Yeah, literally, I said it about a minute ago, mate. Edward says, add those dry brushes. Which ones? The God Hand ones, mate? Because they're direct from E-Models, them ones, mate. Or do you want... Or was it the AP ones that you was after, them ones? Which ones was it? Because the God Hands ones, obviously, they go through E-Models, mate. Yeah. So, yeah. I haven't seen them on the Amazon yet, God Hand stuff.
No.
Because, obviously, E-Models...
Yeah, we'd send you to
a distributor.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to love and leave you before I start rambling again. See you on the next one, which will be this Sunday, Workbench, with me and the gang on Sunday. So look forward to seeing you then. Also, I'll probably do a solo stream Monday and probably do that on my channel then. I'll go through my stash and see what I've got. If not, I'll just sit and paint the Goliath or something like that, or a bit more on this. I don't know yet.
Might as well. It's a bit of content for your channel, isn't it? Might as well.
All right, folks. I've got wooden kits to do as well, so I might do a bit of that. I don't know. We'll see. Keep an eye out, folks. Ring the bell just below. It's there. Obviously, next to the subscribe button, and you'll get notified. So until then, we'll see you later.
Take care, everyone. Adios, amoebas. Bye.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best.